All right, we should be live now, guys.
We're live.
Whoa.
All right, so just post it out here and we will go. All right, guys, so everybody, welcome to the broadcast. Why don't we go around the room and introduce ourselves here? So I'll start. I'm Corey Reynolds. I'm the TO for the Crossroads event.
Don't all talk at once now.
I know. Don't jump to it.
We have professionals on this cast. Y'all should have known how to go.
I see Greg, Joey, then me, then Alex. That's how I see it.
All right, we'll go in that order. I'm Greg, and yeah, I'm part of the Unplugged Gamers, host of Unplugged Radio. I'm going to be playing in the tournament, and really excited to go over some of the lists and see what the matchups are because I haven't looked at anything yet, so it's all going to be fresh for me.
Nice.
Does that make me up next? I'm Joey, the far traveler from the Mid-Atlantic. Probably seen me talk about crap on Facebook because I post a lot. And we'll talk shit all the time to anybody. So that's probably why I'm here. But it's cool. Alex is the actual one from the Mid-Atlantic with any value.
We'll see about that. I'll prove you wrong.
So I'm Josh Rosado. I'm part of the War Kings of Cape Cod, Northeast player, and the TO of Orktown GT.
Cool. That makes me. I'm Alex. I am the Mid-Atlantic as well, and I'm the regional advisor and Team Aristocrats club based around DC, basically, Northern Virginia, really.
All right, I think that's everybody, and then we're going to have John Vanase and Mike Rossi that are going to be joining us here shortly. So let's get right into it. I think we'll start off with Table 1, the one grudge match that we've got on here. So it's going to be the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen against the Unplugged Gamers. So, Greg, why don't you go ahead and read your team's lists off to start with?
Sounds good. Are we the only grudge match?
You're the only grudge match. Nobody else had the guts to issue one.
Well, that's because they dodged our grudge. The Unplugged Gamers dodged the War King grudge. Because you guys got out-of-towners, that's why.
Well, I guess
do, 1-to-1. So you read one, I'll read one. That way it's not 20 minutes of you reading a list.
20 minutes.
Well, you got 4 lists to go through, so you see what I'm saying?
True. Sure. We could split them. So I'll start with my list because that one's easy. It's got 3 regiments of Spectres. It's Night Stalkers, by the way, and all the lists are 2250. If anyone listening didn't know that. 3 regiments of Spectres, a regiment of Phantoms, 2 troops of Shadowhounds, 3 regiments of Nightmares, a Mind Screech, a Shade with the Blade of Slashing, a Banshee with Lightning Bolt 5 and Scarlet Maw's Fanulian Amulet, and a Void Lurker with the Brew of Haste, rounding it out, 2250. Boom.
All right. So I'll start with mine as well because I also took Night Stalkers.
What?
Symmetry.
Yeah,
Symmetry
is showing up here. So I've got 2 hordes of butchers, one with Chant of Hate, one with the Mace of Crushing. I've got 2 regiments of fiends, a horde of fiends with the Brew of Sharpness, 2 Shadow Hulks, a Planar Apparition, a Horror with Banechant, a Void Lurker with Dark Lord's Onyx Ring for regen 4-up, 3 Dread Fiends, one with Blade of Slashing, and the Butcher's Block Formation, which gives Brutal to the Butchers and one of the Shadow Hulks. It makes the Shadow Hulk with Brutal speed 6.
Nice. Now I'll jump into Jake's Abyssal Dwarf list. He has a horde of Black Souls with the Brew of Strength, 2 regiments of Decimators, a horde of Slave Orcs, 2 troops of Gargoyles, a regiment of Abyssal Half-Breeds with a Dwarven Ale, a horde of Abyssal Grotesques with the Brew of Sharpness, a Dragonfire team, 3 Angkor Heavy Mortars, an Overmaster with Wings of Honey Maze, Slave Driver with Loot of Insatiable Darkness, Basusu the Vile, and the Heralds of the Black Flame formation, which gives a crushing one to the Decimators.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yes.
Nice.
Does it improve their melee as well?
Yeah, they
I
go
think
4
it
up.
makes them 4 up.
Yeah, it goes them to melee 4 up because they're normally 5 up. Yep. There you go.
All right, so I'll go ahead and do Shannon Shoemaker next. He's running Goblins. He's got 2 regiments of rabble and 2 hordes of rabble, 3 hordes of Fleabag Chariots, 2 Kings on Chariots, no items on any of these so far, 3 Flaggots, all mounted on Fleabags, one with a diadem of Dragonkind, 3 Mincers, 3 Giants, and a Goblin Mega Blaster.
Oh, I love it.
I hate it.
Pretty good.
I really just love the 2 Goblin Kings on Chariot, but it's okay. Then he's next up. We have John Vanase with his Forces of the Abyss. 2 regiments of Flame Bearers. One has Jar of the 4 Winds. One has Heart-Seeking Chant. 2 troops of Gargoyles. A horde of lower abyssals that have exchanged shields for 2-handed weapons, lowering them to defense 3 and gaining crushing strength 1. With the Brew of Strength for crushing 2. A horde of tortured souls with the Warbow of Kaba. A regiment of Abyssal Horsemen with Makwar's Potion of the Caterpillar. An Abyssal Temptress with Bane Chant 2, Wings, and Ensorcelled Armor. 2 Archfiends of the Abyss, both with Wings and Lightning 5. One has Blade of Slashing, one has Blessing of the Gods, and Basusu the Vile. And before he's able to jump on and defend himself, I do want to say that I called John out on spending an insane amount of points on magic artifacts and that he should just take another unit and got shot down for reasons. But count it up. It's like 165 points or something.
Nice.
You said it before I could.
Like Hellhounds? No, nothing.
He doesn't like those.
The third, like a 4th regiment, you could fit another one in there for that.
You could fit a lot. But
Yeah.
Isn't that like a Tortured Soul regiment? It's like
It's a
100
lot, I think.
points, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know.
All right. I'll do Tim Smith next. He's got Herd with Elf Allies. So I'll go over the Herd part first because I'll make the Elf Allies make sense. He's got a horde of tribal warriors with Brew of Haste, 2 regiments of tribal longhorns, 2 beast packs, 2 stampedes, one with Wine of Elvenkind for nimble, one with Chalice of Wrath for fury, a great chieftain with Wings of Honey Maze, 2 shamans, both with heal 5, one with Boots of Levitation, one with Kevinar's Flying Hammer, and the Cloven Stalkers formation, which gives Vanguard to the warriors and the 2 longhorns. And maybe the great chieftain, if I'm remembering right. I don't remember what all
I
gets
think the chieftain gets it too, yeah.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, so his elf allies are 3 regiments of forest shamblers, an army standard bearer on a horse, and a noble war chariot.
So a whole lot of Vanguard.
That is awesome.
It's amazing.
I love it.
I love it.
That's why you guys start with the herd part. The elf part doesn't make sense.
I love that. That's awesome. That's a great list.
Last up for the Unplugged Radio team, we have Mike Rossi and the League of Rordia. Another side note on him before he joins in, he hates his list. He has access basically to any model ever from what he described to us, and he had months to come up with a list, and he still says he hates it. So I don't know. I think it sounds fine, but
has he ever liked a list he built?
No.
no. I mean, no.
I have called him out more than once. Like, I'm like, Mike, how do you play these lists? It's just like one of everything. Like,
No,
it's
this
not
one,
that great.
let's see, this one's like 2 of everything. So
Yeah,
here we go.
nice.
Well, we do start with 1 regiment of House Guard with the Warbow of Kaba.
So
then
tech.
2 regiments of Household Knights, 2 troops of Halfling Ranger Cavalry, 2 hordes of Honor Guard, 1 with the Healing Brew, 1 with Makwar's Potion of the Caterpillar, 2 Halfling Volley Guns, a Halfling Iron Beast, a Duke with Winged Arrowles, 2 Army Standard Bearers, 1 is on a horse with the Diadem of Dragonkind, 1 is on foot with the Loot of Insatiable Darkness. Then he has a Baron on a horse with Blade of Slashing, and a Halfling Sorcerer on a horse with the Aura of Heroism.
Seems good.
Yeah.
Seems fine.
I actually really liked that list.
Yeah, it's well rounded. That's
There's a couple things I've changed, but
well,
basically,
don't let Rossi
yeah.
know that because he'll.
I'm gonna let him know.
He'll tell you all about what he wants to change on it.
I can't wait to give him crap about how there's no shambling horde team. I can't wait. It'd be awesome.
So to round it out, we had elf allies, so we had to take elves. So we got Robert Brandon rocking elves. We got 2 kindred archer hordes. One with Chavez, that's the way you take them. You got a troop of Silver Breeze cavalry, 2 hordes of Dracon riders with Brewer's Sharpness and Brewer's Strength, which is the Southeast standard. A horde of war chariots, no item on them. We got an army standard bearer mounted on a horse with the diadem of dragonkind. You got a mage with Banechant 2, Black Iron Crown, 2 noble war chariots, a Dracon rider lord, the Dracon not the dragon, and the Windboard legendary Silver Breeze cavalry troop.
Oh baby,
nice.
That is a rough list.
So good.
Yeah,
elves are so good, man.
This is basically. So who wants to start on ideas?
So that's all the lists. Who wants to face who?
I can start because I've already gone over it with the team because I had access to the list early.
There you go.
So the ideal matchups that we thought about, we figured Robert could really go anywhere, but ideally he would hit Greg. The Night Stalkers wouldn't want to see a high elf shooting list, like with a high volume of shots like Robert. So we figured that's probably the weakest link for his matchup. As far as Tim went, he could kind of go anywhere because the Vanguard isn't going to be as important. It'll probably mess with Rossi just because he's never played with the Rhodians before. But ideally, he'll take, I guess, John or Jake. I would get one of the other two, so John or Jake as well. I don't want to see Rossi because as much as I like seeing melee-only lists, I really don't want to see Honor Card, period, because they will one-shot any unit in Night Stalkers.
Yeah.
So it really just doesn't. I can get in there first. It won't make a difference to them. 24 attacks sitting on 3s will do 15 wins to a Fiend Horde. It just doesn't matter. Which left Shannon with Rossi. So that was the ideal for us. We threw some trash at Rossi's Rhodians, get some giants in there for Brutal. Hopefully the Mega Blaster doesn't blow up at a wrong time.
I think oh sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, all you.
I was just gonna say I think Shannon, if Shannon lined up against John, I think that might be pretty tough for John too. He's got a lot of ability to disorder those flyers and his shooting and just mega amounts of units.
Do you feel though as if John just had one more unit?
if John had just like one more unit, I really feel like he wouldn't care about
like
He'd just be like
165 points. He could fit 2 gargoyles in there, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's a lot of points. Yeah.
So 2 gargoyles would help his list out a lot. His list, though, I don't really think it needs the chaff as much fast alpha strike as it has. It can play a range game pretty well.
Yeah, and that was that was sort of his argument, like the extra 12-inch range with the Jar of the Four Winds on one of those regiments.
It means they work on turn 1.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fine. The Heart-Seeking Shank's a little weird. I think he would have been better off getting the Kenai item there. I don't know if you consider that or not.
Yeah,
the
that's
+1 range. Like I think usually I don't know the math exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's better most of the time.
Like hitting on 3s versus piercing 2.
Right.
It's just an idea of the more hits you have, the more chance you have for luck to swing your way.
Not only that, like you don't care as much about cover either with +1 to hit.
Exactly. Yeah. The more you run the stealthy or cover, you're not worried about it. Having said that, I like John's list a lot. I think if I was looking at matchups here, I kind of agree with what Joey said. I think John wants to play against either Robert or Joey. That's the way I look at it. I think those are his best matchups there. I guess it's relatively balanced. I think Unplugged gamers in general have a more balanced list. One thing I'll note as well is that, like, I'm curious to see how more people weigh on this, but you have like kind of 2 approaches when it comes to matchmaking. You can either match for like army, or you can match for scenario. So you can kind of try to play the game of like, okay, well, I know that I can win eliminate, then I'm going to make sure I play eliminate, regardless of who I'm against, and just have that style. So it's interesting to hear Joey looks like they're focused only on the Army matchups versus the maybe the other team would be focused more on scenario matchups. So, let's
I
say
can't give away all of my secrets.
that's fair. That's fair. And this isn't the time to do that, but like I could see, for example, like Robert maybe like struggling to invade or something like that against a list that's a little bit more aggressive, like say John's list to invade, something like that, or Greg's list to invade, something that he has to kind of play on the back foot from. So I think there's a lot of that going into their style.
Yeah, one thing that's interesting with this, because we're doing the 2 pairs for scenario and matchups, it means that you can kind of have lists that really don't want to see one thing versus another. Like you can kind of pair them off that way, so that either you're getting the best matchup or the best scenario. It's one or the other.
Right.
So you can kind of work that into how you're doing your team play.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you think that, in your opinion, do you think it's more beneficial to take the matchup or the scenario? I would argue matchup, probably.
I agree.
Just out of curiosity, I'm just...
between the two, I think matchup is more important.
Yeah.
But
unless you've built your list for a specific scenario, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Correct. Right. Tim Smith, for example, right? He's Army Vanguard. It's only Vanguards. Like, you're playing him in invade.
Give me push all day.
Loot,
yeah, whatever, right?
Yeah. I think, like, if you're playing, like, Robert's Elves, you're going to not want to see certain scenarios. Like, his list plays invade a lot better than it looks it should.
Dominate.
Yeah. Places where, like, pillage is really awful against that. If the pillage tokens be put out in the open, that's just misery.
The double Archer Horde or double Dracon lists are pretty tough to deal with. I mean, you can stand there and defend against the Dracons and you get shot to death, or you charge up against the shooting hordes and get flanked by the Dracons. It's tough.
Rough. Robert,
they're rough.
I think just took this list to Keystone where he got, I want to say 3rd. Is that right?
I was 4th. I made some changes to this.
Got it. Okay. I don't remember. Did he have the Silver Wind or whatever, the legendary Silver Breeze?
Robert was 3rd. He took, I think he took the Silver Breeze. I can't remember.
Okay.
I know he took him to ATC, and he wasn't super impressed, and we told him just keep doing it.
Okay.
I think once you get the hang of them, I think they're amazing, right?
Yeah, they're very good.
I'm not sold yet. I haven't seen him break into like the mainstream alpha list, so I'm curious to see how he does that.
Adam Ballard, I know he is a big fan of them, so I know the Midwest elf players like it a lot. But they all use Silver Breeze anyway.
Windborn. The Windborn.
Yeah, it's just a better version.
That unit is so good. Oh man, I was playing that unit.
It's like you're hitting on 4s against like support casters. So like if you see a Martyr's Prayer thing, cast Martyr's Prayer once, now that Silver Breeze is seeing over the line. It hits on 4s guaranteed with Wind Blast.
Yeah, no cover. Love it.
Yeah.
Fair points.
So with Jake's list, I think he definitely doesn't want to see Tim Smith's list, right? Because he doesn't want all that stuff getting on him too early and giving the mortars less time to do work.
I think Jake has enough hard hitting stuff. Like with the formation, he can smash in combat a little bit. I don't think the Vanguard is as big of a problem for him, but it might give him pause. Really, the problem with Jake's list is he took 3 mortars, and he spent the last 8 months saying he'd never take mortars. So I've got to rib him on this because he just gave in to the cheese, and that's just wrong. I
don't know why. He didn't even defend himself, why he had this change of heart. It wasn't even that he thought 3 mortars was cheesy. He was playing it originally, and he just thought it was bad because it's inconsistent.
And now they're here. He had 3 rockets.
I think I'm going to do this.
Yeah. Maybe it's a reflection of his, how confident he is right now in his abilities, maybe. Just feel like he has to use it now.
Maybe he invested in some
in the
special
Northeast where they take 3 mortars. He's a Northeast player to me right now. He's been to more Northeast events this year than Mid-Atlantic ones.
Honestly, I think Jake is doing better in that matchup than you would think. Herd don't like to get hit first. And if he vanguards right up and pushes all that stuff, I mean, Jake's got stuff that can reach out and smash him, He's got
Tim's list it's a 50-50 every game. Every single game, that first turn roll.
Well, that's Herd in general. I mean,
he's all
in and you can't beat him on that first try, you're really in trouble with Herd.
Yeah.
Right, and I think Jake played actually Tim Smith in Mountaineer, and I'm pretty sure Jake lost, so maybe he'll be looking for some revenge there. Like, you know,
He's
like
gonna
grudge.
try harder.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be grudge like matching pairing. So I don't know about you guys.
None of us took the flying hammer, did we? I think one of us left it in.
Rossi totally should have taken that.
Yeah.
Right?
At one point, all 4 of our lists had the flying hammer in it.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
one of you have it.
Team theme.
I heard it.
All right.
I just kind of like
Tim has it on a shaman, so Tim has to play Rossi. That's that.
There you go. I just kind of like that Joey and I both have Night Stalkers, and the only unit choice that overlaps between us is the Void Lurker.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think that's pretty awesome.
Who do you think, if you guys had to match up, who do you think's got the advantage on that one? I would probably, I'm going to argue probably Joey, just because Greg's got so much shooting in his list. It sounds redundant and silly, but I guess you don't have so much, but you got 30.
I have a decent amount, and
42.
Joey actually took the Night Stalker units that benefit from stealthy, unlike me.
I think our matchup really, if he gets a scenario where he can fly,
Yeah.
then he'll be fine. Like if the fly can actually matter, but if we're on like dominate, I don't really think he's going to have all that good of a time. Like if I get a scenario where he has to stay in one spot and he can't really use the extra maneuverability that he has in his list over mine, he'll suffer some.
You got
a lot of
Surge,
people,
right, Joey?
yeah, a lot of people
one
also
Surge caster.
underestimate how fast and how hard my list will hit.
Yeah, no, I mean the fiends
Everybody-
are no joke.
All right, guys. So voting time. Who do we think has the advantage in this one?
Do me and Greg even have to vote?
Yeah, I mean
No, we'll assume you're both voting for the other team.
There you go. That's perfect. I won't be doing that. I think honestly, I think these are 2 tough teams, and I think they're just gonna. I mean, we just saw that the matchups could go any single way, and really, I don't think there's any glaring thing that one particular list wants to see or wants to not see over another. You know what I mean?
I do still think Greg absolutely doesn't want to see elves. Like that's not the one he wants to see.
I think I'd be fine in that matchup.
I mean, he's got a lot of ability to disorder stuff, and that's really what it all comes down to against those shooting lists, in my experience. You just throw it all out there, and they're going to kill some stuff, but if you can shut down the majority of it, archers can't fight. It turns out that they can't hit you in the face with a bow.
They can when it's against Night Stalkers. That's the weird thing about playing Night Stalkers. When you're defense 3 or 4 all around, everything can fight you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Joe there, but I think it depends on the scenario. I think it's gonna be tight. I could really see this going 2-2, and then like having it be the margin of the win that determines who takes it, which is kind of a factor, I guess, too, right? Like I know in ETC's past, like a common strategy is gonna have like a team that doesn't really give up a big loss, right? So the idea that is like you can minimize your loss, your other teammates can win bigger. Having said that, I think under 15-5, it's a little hard to kind of do that strategy. But I do think I can see this game going 2-2, and I'm going to give the edge to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the out-of-towners, to sort of upset the local boys.
It's new stuff coming in.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're not used to maybe taking off guard or something, but I think it will be close.
Nobody ever plays goblins in the Northeast, right? So that's
Exactly.
Hey, we have the Great Khan on our team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is true. That is true.
It's not triple lobber. It's not triple Alchemist Curse. This is very polite, Shannon.
I don't know about that. I don't buy that for a second.
Yeah, it's nastier
filthy.
than it looks on paper for sure. Like you start
Yeah,
digging into
And
it,
it looks,
like,
it looks
hey.
nasty on paper too. So
Yeah, that's true.
At one point, we were all looking at taking 3 giants apiece because Shannon was taking 6 when you include the mincers. So we were going to be the team of giants. That was
You all just take the same list, but just with like variations through your armies.
Right.
all right, guys. So let's go to the next matchup here.
Cool.
So we've got Cuddle Time versus STG. So Alex, why don't you read Cuddle Time's list? Or their
All right.
lists?
I have Oh man, it's my favorite list in tournament, I think.
Also, this is the Shambling Horde team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't know why you guys.
I know.
Rossi's not on it. I see how it
I
is.
just keep busting on Rossi. I'm like, wow, you're not playing for your own guys, huh? That's interesting.
I know. I don't know what happened here, but the whole time I'm rooting for these guys for sure. Great guys. This list is amazing. This is Adriel's list.
It's out of control.
And it's like half the size of an easy armor sheet. So looking at it on the computer is hilarious. So he's got 1 regiment of bloodworms. And he's got gotta count these, 4 legions of bloodworms. That is ridiculous. And then he's got 3 mind screeches. And to finish it off, at I think 9 drops total, it looks like, Void Lurker. So he's got 3 different units and just a whole bunch of nonsense going on here. And I love it.
For those of you counting at home, that's like 128 nerve of bloodworms.
Yes.
It's insane.
Absolutely ridiculous. 40 attacks apiece, too. I mean,
Ridiculous.
They hit on 4.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, they
I
hit
do
on
not
4.
want to fight that.
All right, so I think I'll take the STG team since that's my local team here. So we'll start with Chris Pelliter's list. He is playing Abyssals, and he's got a regiment of Flame Bearers with a Jar of the 4 Winds, another regiment of Flame Bearers, a regiment of Imps, a regiment of Tortured Souls, and 2 hordes of Tortured Souls, and Abyssal Harbinger with the Diadem of Dragonkind, and a Freak with the Heart-Seeking Chant. Then we've got the Well of Souls, Archfiend with Wings, Veil of Shadows, and Blade of Slashing, Basusu, and Acronius.
Why Veil of Shadows in the Archfiend?
I was going to say the same thing. Like Lightning Bolt for sure, right?
Good point.
I'm just wondering what he Veil of Shadows, because he can't Veil of Shadow himself. Like, are you doing the Well of Souls, or
Maybe the Tortured Souls?
then there's another horde that isn't stealthy?
Right.
Don't worry about that.
I'm just saying, like, 15 points, that's the Brew of Haste on that guy, you know?
Yeah, it comes with Fury. That actually, you do Brew of Haste, and then you have 5 points for like a Tortured Soul to get a healing brew or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, give the Veil to like a Freet or something, right? Like maybe turn 1 when he's like
Turn 1, turn 2.
Can cast it. Yeah, exactly. I would just cycle that, and the rest looks fine.
I feel like Mind Fog is being severely overlooked. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Went all in on Mind Fog.
Oh man, it's so good. 10
We'll get
points.
to those lists later.
Yeah.
All right, Alex. Next list from your
Oh
side.
yeah. So next is Harry from the Cuddle Time, and Harry's got salamanders, and there's a lot of spam on this side here, so gotta stop and like count these. So I count 5 hordes of fire elementals. 1 of them has the Brew of Courage, and then he has 4 regiments of Ember Sprites. 1 Herald with the Banner of Griffin. Got 2 Mage Priests. One's got Bane Chant, Heal, Surge, and Inspiring Talisman. Wow, that's a lot of spells. Okay. Another one's got Bane Chant, Martyr's Prayer, and Healing Brew.
That guy's got 4 spells.
Yes, he does.
I know.
Swiss Army Lizard. He's good.
That's insane. Yeah, I
He's
mean,
gonna do
he's got
something.
the red tool. Yeah, for sure. He's got a Clan Lord on Fire Drake with the Blessed Gods. He has him elite, and he's got the special character Agnes, I guess. I don't know.
Agnes. We're just going to call her Agnes.
Agnes.
So
And
the
then,
Claymore on Fire Drake has no wings, right?
yeah, that's on foot.
That's crazy. What?
Yeah, I mean, Red Army doesn't move
I
any
took it
faster.
for a year. It's fine. It works.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine, but it's better with wings.
I kind of
Well,
agree with
the
this, actually.
idea there is it can just, it can sit behind the Ember Sprites and shoot at them over them
Right.
with no penalty.
Well, yeah, you get a nice little. So I was like crunching out breath Ember Sprites at one point, and like you get a nice little breath bump there. If you just like take a bunch of them, it's pretty good. It's not too bad.
The one thing I want to say real quick is that you guys don't know, I think Harry does battle reports on the Manic forums, which are really, really cool. So I recommend checking those out. There, I forgot his name was there, but I'm sure. I hope he'll be doing it for this one too. But he has one from Keystone, which went to a couple months ago, or he's like a month ago. But
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. How time flies.
Anyways, check that out. Whatever. Next.
All right, over to me. So I've got Stephen King's dwarf list here. We've got 2 regiments of Iron Guard, 2 hordes of Earth Elementals, a regiment of Berserker Brock Riders with the Potion of the Caterpillar, another regiment of Brock Riders with the Brew of Strength, 2 organ guns, a standard bearer with the Loot, a Berserker Brock Riding Lord with the Blade of the Beast Slayer, of course.
I've never seen a list like this.
It's very unique. A Stone Priest with Bane Chant and Martyr's Prayer, and then 2 Steel Behemoths.
Alex should have read this.
Like, tried and true. Tried and true.
It just works, right?
The Berserker Lord comes out of the box like that.
Yeah.
And he's just got the big Blade of the Beast Slayer lifted up above his head.
Yeah, it's a good list.
All right, not much to say about it. The Iron Guard troops are interesting, or regiments are interesting.
I'm liking those Defense 5 regiments. That's not bad in the list.
They're Defense 6.
Oh, they are?
They are.
Even better.
I prefer them a lot more with the Defense 5 crushing one, to be perfectly honest.
I like Defense 6. I think
I like
fine.
6, yeah.
They're super efficient at defense. Like if you look at like just the defense value, like you pay for point wise, like they're, basically bar none, one of the best anvils in the game. So I think they do that job really, really well.
And you got a Bane Chant there floating around to tag him with when you need it.
Makes you wonder if you need the 2 Earth Hordes and the 2 Iron Guard.
Well, you're committed to the Defense 6. There's also the 2 Steel Behemoths. So.
That's true. I think he's playing blocker on that one. Just put it all out there and
he's playing Brocker.
Brocker. He's playing Brocker.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, back to you, buddy.
All right. Next up, we have Jason Willits. And he's bringing ogres. And he's got...
I'm in the count
again. So many. Okay, only 4, I guess. Hordes of Warriors. Looks like one of them has lowered the defense for Crush 2, and they have the Stain Stone. So you have 1 extra nerve there for their waiver. And then he's got a regiment of Hunters, 2 hordes of Boomers, which are awesome, 2 regiments of Chariots, which you'll see why later, a Warlord mounted on a chariot with the Brew of Courage, Army Standard with the Banner of Griffin, a Boomer Sergeant, Red Goblin Blaster, which is awesome unit, and then he's got the
nemesis of Alex's existence.
Yeah, I may have lost horribly.
Most broken unit in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Tried Rivers of Tears.
Point for point, those 65 points, they can really travel far.
Yeah, honestly, I'd like 2 or 3 in the list now. Just keep go all in on him, right? But the main thing he has is the Hell on Wheels formation there, which I don't remember exactly what it does. Maybe someone else.
It gives I think it gives nerve. It gives a point of nerve to each one of them. The 2 Chariots and the Warlord, and the Warlord gets Rally 1, I think.
That's right.
So they have that. He's got Band of the Griffin. So a lot of nerve boost going on here. I think it's really cool. I like it.
My one complaint here is the banner's not on the Warlord.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, because then he can just hang out with the Chariots, and it's like, let's just go.
Yeah. So you wind up with Chariots that are like +3 nerve over their base.
Yeah, that's impressive when you start stacking that.
I mean, to be fair, if he felt the need to, I mean, the Army Standard's not doing anything else in this list, so he can just literally just run behind the Chariots if he wants to, if he really needs it.
I expect it. I mean, to be honest.
4 hordes of warriors? I kind of expect him to be back there.
Yeah, true.
They don't need the nerve usually as much.
Yeah, but they got to spread the inspiring out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's only got, 1, 2, just 2, right? Oh, 3. He's got the Boomer Sergeant. Yep.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this is a good list, man. It's I think it's got a lot of different. You got some speed, you got some shooting, you got some Pathfinder units. I think it's got a lot of different threats. I really like this style of list. So, I think I do well with it. Got
Yeah, I've always
30 units,
not
right?
2 legions.
Or something
Four
ridiculous like
hordes.
that.
All right, so over to me. Next list we've got is Tim O'Brien. He's playing Varinger. So we've got a regiment of thralls and a legion of thralls with the crystal pendant of retribution.
Spicy.
A horde of fallen with the potion of the caterpillar, and then another horde of fallen. 2 troops of the tundra wolves, a horde of direfang riders with fury and the brew of haste, a cavern dweller, 2 magus conclaves with elite, a Kingon chimera with fury and a chant of hate, and Magnilda the Fallen.
And 5 points left hanging.
There's nothing to spend for
Alex Chavez handicap.
I'm taking the list away.
Done on Fallen. Like, it's just better there.
My hero.
The Chavez.
I love it.
Clearly, he knows how to use magical artifacts because he took Crystal Pendant.
Did you take that hammer
knows
off the Thunderbolts? Obviously.
He just could have thrown a Kevinar's flying hammer.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You put it on the Thunderbolts.
No, man.
Or
It's not
about-
an addition anyways. Just go 5 points under, and you're like, you have the moral high ground,
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you lose, you can always be like, well, I play at a disadvantage. So, I mean,
So my one thing I'm not a huge fan of is the Brew of Haste and the Dire Fangs. I think that should be Brew of Courage for the 15 points. If you're taking Fury on it, take advantage of the Fury.
I agree. I mean, I take the Brew of Courage in literally every list. Just like, I think it's
Speed
such
6
a
and Speed
well
7
spent.
Isn't
Just
that
because
big?
you're a coward, so you need a potion to
No,
help you.
yeah, exactly. I hate nerve spikes. Greg could tell you all about that.
Yeah, it's a very good item.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like haste there. I don't argue for you. Like, I think 6 to 7 is a big jump as far as speed is concerned. So, like, if you look at the rest of the list, like, it kind of wants to get really in your face.
It's pretty
most part.
fast, right?
So I can see a certain strategy based around that speed 7 that makes it, like, worthwhile.
Especially like backed up by the Fallen too. I mean, you throw that down the flank and that's trouble. It's coming in.
Right, because you march 14 with them turn 1, and then all of a sudden you're threatening a turn 2 charge range. Anything that's kind of lined up on the line there. So with some falling on the flank, something like that, I can see the Dire Fangs being kind of a good mid-table presence.
I mean, this is
I just see it at speed 6. You can go 12 up anyway. If they move up at all turn 1, you're in charge range then. So,
you know,
to
we're
me,
fine.
I view Dire Fangs as infantry. They're not cavalry to me.
Yeah, deploying more towards the center, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like on a lot of these tables in the Northeast anyway, we play with pretty heavy terrain. Like the odds of you getting at the double first turn aren't great sometimes. You know,
That's right.
there's a lot of forests, a lot of walls, lots of stuff like that.
Right. But they actually want walls for the most part. I mean, they just go up against it. I know they can't march past it, but if you can hug it and then charge over it, then
There's a tree in the middle. They're the best way to deter anybody from going for an objective.
Yeah,
there.
for sure. Yep.
Okay, it's probably back to me then.
Yep, back to you. Last list, right?
So Jeff Huggins, I think. Yep. So he has orcs, which are awesome, and he's got 2 hordes of axes, which are sort of bread and butter. 2 regiments of gore riders, horde of gore chariots, Roger on slasher with the wings, and dwarven ale, which I'm not quite sure about because he already has fury, but and flagger with the loot, the god speaker with Bane Chant and Heal and Inspired Talisman. Got a giant, a war drum, and allied in 2 hordes of boomers, which is pretty awesome, I'll say, because like that's what orcs wish they had, like
That
in the
fits.
army, right? Like,
That fits a lot.
yeah, I can't deny like wanting to have that shit in there. So, so that's his list there. Looks pretty good. It's got I think 22 unit strength here from what I calculated.
It's
So
got a lot of ass to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
just
it's not
love
Orc
the-
Town, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's good.
I just love the hordes of axe with a war drum behind them are just so reliable at taking a hit.
It's good, especially if you back him with the God speakers. K2 tends to do that. He just he just stacks that heal, and then it's like you need to really hit those things hard once. And if you want to get in a grind with them, they're coming right back.
Yeah, it's a really balanced list. I mean, I like it a lot. Like I really like balanced lists. So I think this does a little bit in every phase.
Oh, they're upstairs.
Yeah, the Crudger could probably just have Blade of Slashing and then throw a Staying Stone on an Orc Horde, or the Axe Horde, or even the Gore Riders. Making them 14-15 is a huge help for that unit. But
yeah,
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's a be a good list. I think it's a good come all list. Like you can play kind of any scenario, take on more or less any army, and I think it's probably the most reliable strategy for this team tournament. Like having that consistency, but we'll see.
I really like the addition of the boomers. I think that adds a lot to the Orc list for sure.
Right, because
some they're needing.
Hate flyers, right? It's
right.
I think it does and it doesn't, because he doesn't really have anything to go in front of him, which is going to be an issue for that unit. That unit eats alpha strikes like no one's business.
Yeah, but you put him behind everything.
Put him behind
and now they're hitting on 5s. They're not doing that much. Like,
yeah, but you can.
I played with that unit. It can disappoint you in all the worst ways.
That's everything.
Boomers especially. Trust me on that one.
Right.
Those boomers really want that war drum. I'll say that right now. Like if that was in the Orc list, be great. But I think they still have an important role to fill.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's just without inspiring or anything, it's not hard to see them wavered. And because of how wide this is probably going to be deploying, it's not hard to see him out of position for that. That's really my one concern. If he does deploy him super layered, then he's really devoting to one table edge.
People tend to make that the target too. Like, oh shit, 2 hordes of boomers, need to deal with that right now before I get over there. You know?
Yeah. And the Gore Riders love when people don't shoot at them.
That is correct. So maybe that's their actual job.
I actually get to be effective this game. Hey.
All right, so I will read the last list we've got here, and this is Zess Williams, and Zess is our ringer player, so he just learned to play 2 weeks ago.
Nice. Thanks, Zess.
And he takes this?
Why did he learn quick?
Who wrote this list, I wonder. So we've got elves, we've got a horde of archers with heart seeking, and the horde of archers with the wine of elven kind. A regiment of Stormwind Cav with the Potion of the Caterpillar. 2 hordes of Draken Riders, 1 with Brew of Strength, 1 with Brew of Sharpness. 3 Dragon Breath weapon teams, and Elven Mage, Bane Chant, Black Iron Crown. Noble War Chariot with Inspiring, and a Dragon Rider Lord with the Chant of Hate.
Sweet. Let me get this straight. He's got 2 Archer hordes and 2 Dracon hordes? Weird.
That's right.
It's awesome.
You know, Robert took this to 3rd place at Keystone, and you give it to the ringer.
That's right. I want to see what the statistics show us with this.
Oh man, that would be so bad. It's like he just takes down everything. It's like, oh.
This list is straight dirty.
It's really not fair.
I was pretty sold that this is George, and he just came in with a different name.
Oh, I want that so bad to be true.
Yeah.
You know what worries me about elves? Like, why are Stormwind Cavalry speed 9? Like they have defense 5. They're covered in armor, but my centaurs are speed 8? Question mark.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Why are they just
Nothing adds up.
Hey, but at least your centaurs have 12 attacks.
Right, 12 attacks.
Take a Pathfinder for 3, and
whatever.
that's why.
That's fine. We do have a Pathfinder. I guess that's the end all beat all.
Oh, let the hate flow through you. Yeah.
We'll see. Couple more months.
This list could be one of the best lists at the event. Given the fact the dude's only played for like a month,
Not even
will
half a
probably
month.
be a problem.
Well, I mean, that's all you need, though. You need 1 month to play that list. You're good.
Right. You just need to go, what's defense 4? I shoot at turn 1. What's defense 4 again? I shoot at turn 2. Now I'll look at defense 5.
That's right.
What's left? I charge it with the Dracons. All right, good game.
Exactly.
And mop up with the breath weapon teams. That's all you do.
I'm not even bitter.
Alan took the Crossroads last year, because this is pretty close to what he took in one like Crossroads last year.
It's good.
Alan?
Yeah.
It is pretty close, yes.
You know, he took a year off the game, came back, won a GT with this list.
Also true.
Yeah, that's a sign, baby.
We'll see what a complete newbie does with this list. That'll be the key. That'll be the key.
That will be.
So, in spite of the obvious power of that list, I think looking at the two teams paired against each other, I kind of like Cuddle Time in this matchup. Their lists, although they tend to be a little one-dimensional, they have a ton of unit strength that they're bringing to the board. So you know that some of the scenarios that come up, they're going to have a big advantage with that. And then they also, paired with that, have a ton of nerve that they're throwing on the table.
Right.
So I think certain armies are going to just struggle against that.
Do you think like an elf list like that, like Zess's list here, do you think that struggles against the fire elemental list? Or even against the bloodworm list?
I don't think so, because the fire elemental list is going to take 3 turns to get to you.
True.
Like,
yep.
There's no way the fire elementals get there faster. So I think that's going to give him enough time to pick up 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's only like heal 3 in that list, so he's not going to really be shedding the winds off. So I think he'll probably be able to pick up a couple hordes, and then the Dracons alone should be able to pick up 1 each.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that.
Those.
Okay.
I think it would struggle against the Night Stalker list, though.
Yeah, that's the one it probably doesn't want to see. That much nerve on
Because
itself.
it's not that hard, especially when the legions are that big to get them some cover, too.
Yeah.
So then you're neg 2 to hit them.
And they're giving cover to the Mind Screeches, who are also
who are a huge threat to the elf army. So
yeah, because 2 Mind Screeches can pick up a Dracon horde on their own.
and 3 can do it even more reliably.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the elf army does not want to see that Night Stalker army.
I can definitely see the elf army. If they played it right, they could probably shut down the 3 Mind Screeches pretty easily. But then it's just slogging through all that nerve, you know, like they don't want to take those 40 attacks either, even with no crushing strength. Like they're going to just melt.
20 hits.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
7 wins. Like
That's
the
rough.
Dracon hordes, that's scary.
Yeah,
Once
for
you
sure.
take 7, you're at waiver value.
Yep.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
I love it, man. Azrael's a madman.
That is it's definitely an interesting list. I'm sure.
I have to agree. I think Cuddle Time has the advantage here. I think SCG could get away with it. I think they're probably going to get 1 win out of that elf list, so long as it's played at least remotely intelligently. Like I don't know the player, but
he's going to be
if he
fine.
just doesn't charge till turn 4, he'll probably do okay. I think that list probably will win its matchup, unless it gets the Night Stalker one.
Right.
Like, if it sees ogres, it's probably really happy. If it sees, what's the other ones?
We got
Orcs, it's probably really happy.
the ogres.
The
Yeah.
salamanders, yeah. Like I think it's got a good matchup on the other 3, so that list should probably come up with a win, as long as it doesn't get the Night Stalker.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Night Stalkers is the one thing they don't want to see, but I don't see them having any trouble with the other 3 lists.
Outside of that, I think everything else is pretty fair and probably favoring Cuddle Time. The dwarves aren't going to like seeing ogres or orcs. The Varangur aren't going to like seeing orcs as well, or even ogres with that many units.
I think the original point is pretty good. That all that nerve and all that unit strength is going to be tough to overcome in the scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually looking at it here, and Atro's list is the lowest unit strength in that team with 18. That's higher than the whole of the team. So
That's awesome.
It's
yeah,
great.
that's pretty crazy.
I will say Chris's Abyssals has a really good shot of winning against any of those 4 matchups. Like when you take a Well of Souls and an Archfiend and an Efreet and a Cronius, and they're both piercing 3 or piercing 1.
And
Like,
Basusa.
that has a good shot against them.
Yeah, Chris has got a lot of flyers. I mean, I'm a big fan of, especially Abyssals. Like they hit really hard and they get a lot of angles. I think that list has potential to outplay any of the lists on the other team. But I still, I'm going to weigh in and say that I think Cuddle Time has the edge on this one. I think kind of agree with Joe. I think it should go 3-1. Just based on I think the overall scenario and balance of the teams.
I can also see 2-1-1 for snuggle time. I think Chris should get a draw on this. It's gonna be snuggle now.
Snuggle time.
All right, guys, let's go to the next matchup we've got here. So we've got John Holst has a posse, which is the hybrid Shambling Horde Unplugged Gamers team.
And Rossi is not on it.
That is also true.
And they're playing against Team Merc. So, Josh, let's have you do John Holst's team.
Surely. All right, so I will do Corey Walter's list first. Corey is bringing Berenger this time. He's got a regiment of Bloodsworn. He has a horde of cave trolls with the Staying Stone. He has a horde of the Fallen with the Brew of Strength. He has a troop of Tundra Wolves, 2 mounted sons of Corrigan, one with Brew of Haste and one with the Caterpillar potion. A troop of Horse Raiders. He's swapping the throwing weapons for bows. He's got a horde of Dire Riders with the Healing Brew. Magus, with just Lightning Bolt on foot, it looks like. King on Chimera with the Gift of Corrigan to gain Brutal. And he comes with wings. And then he's got 2 Scalds. He's got the Banner of the Griffin on one. He's got a mount on the other one with the Crystal Pendant of Retribution.
Yeah, baby.
Nice. Style points.
I love it. I think it's a good list. I've seen Corey. I think it's a little different than what he's used to playing. Like, I know he usually takes allies for the last few lists I've seen.
Like friggin' Night Stalkers on his team, right? So we couldn't get the Night Stalker allies in there.
Oh, that makes more sense. Okay, so
I think he likes.
So he hates his team already, basically, for not letting him run as he's used to. But I do like the list, though. I think I'm kind of a purist where I don't really take allies to begin with, so I like his list as is. I don't know, maybe it's just because he's doing that.
Solid. This is similar to the list he brought to Unplugged, and it's quick. It's quick. It's in your face, and he's gonna break stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The trolls one thing I don't like at all. Like I've never really been a fan of those or ever seen those work, but I guess we'll see.
It's almost just like they kind of repeat a Roll the Fallen fill too. I mean, they're cheaper, but
they're crushing 3 too.
True.
Against, if you're seeing like a lot of dwarves, they're really, really, really handy to have. I think it just depends on what you're seeing. If you see a lot of defense 4, they're useless. Like they just don't do anything that you can't already do before.
And they're just their nerve is so low though, right? Like I wish I had like a Dwarven Ale or something. Give them headstrong so that way they can bounce back in the action if they get wavered.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see that over Staying Stone. But I don't maybe get rid of Healing Brew on the Dire Fangs.
Right. Yeah, I would take that trade in a heartbeat.
Also,
I mean, at the end of the day, it's another 3 unit strength you can throw somewhere, and people probably aren't going to target it. So they're probably
it's not the highest priority.
Yeah, exactly.
A defense 5 large infantry horde normally will stick around for a good while.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the Team Merc list.
Perfect.
So we got first up Bart Kohler with Orcs.
My man.
3 orcs this time. Nice.
This is interesting list. He's got a regiment of axe and a horde of axe. He has a troop of more axe, a regiment of great axe, and a horde of great axe. So it's a lot of axe. 2 troops of skulks, 2 troops of gore riders, a crudger on a gore with the goblin stabby sneak, and a second crudger on a gore with a goblin stabby sneak, which gives an extra attack. And then a crudger on a winged slasher with Brew of Haste, a god speaker with Bane Chant mounted on a gore, a giant, and a war drum.
Nice.
Now, so I'm reading this right.
Dying.
Crutchers are 5 attack space. They go up to 6 with the goblin.
Yes.
Okay.
These are just like all the opposite units of what Orktown usually runs. And
a lot of interesting
Do I see a
unit
mic?
sizes.
He rages against a lot of these units. What's up, Mike?
Oh shit.
What's up, gents? How are we?
How's it going?
Doing good.
Drop.
Not
We're
as good as
even
you,
better
Barry.
now that you're here.
Oh, no one says that. That's good.
Camera's a
I think
little
that-
shaky, but you know.
Yeah, I'm still trying to set it up. Everything's late. There we go. Dad of the year, man. Student-teacher conference.
Oh boy. Sounds fun.
It is not.
You know, you stopped going to those with your second kid.
Nice.
Sorry, Mike. You missed all of us Raven on your list. We thought it was the best rodeo list we'd ever seen written.
You are lying.
Yeah, we were
That is all there
astounded.
is to it.
The only thing we were disappointed about was there was no Kevnar's Flying Hammer. I mean, that was very disappointing.
The only reason I didn't take one is because I couldn't take two.
Nice. All right. We got any more thoughts on the orc list, or should I go moving on? Or
Yeah, let's move on.
It's a lot of
This
acts.
is the list that never wants to see elves. That's the definition of it.
It's
right.
just it has a lot of drops.
it's just funny to see Skulks, Morax, and Great Axe in the same list. Like Skullface himself is having a heart attack. Like, no, what are you doing?
I actually like it.
freaking
I
out.
don't know. I
Yeah.
like this list.
Yeah. All right. So I got Kyle Holman. He's running Abyssal Dwarves. He's running a Horde of Black Souls with the Banner of the Griffin. He's got a Regiment of Mortal Guard. He's exchanging the shields for 2 hand weapons. 2 regiments of Decimators. A regiment of Slave Orcs. Troop of Gargoyles. Horde of Lesser Obsidian Golems. Abyssal Half-Breed Regiment with Brew of Haste. 2 Heavy Mortars. An Overmaster. What does he do? I've never heard of that. Loot of Insatiable Darkness.
The dwarf equivalent to a king.
Gotcha. Okay. Loot of Insatiable Darkness. Basusu the Vile. Dravek Dalkin. He's a special character. Infernok is the golem that goes with him. And he also has Heralds of the Black Flame, which does, I'm not sure.
+1 melee and
CS1.
crushing one
Crushing
to
one on the
Oh, on
Decimator.
the Decimators, right?
Yeah.
That's why you're seeing the Overmaster. Jake has it too, because you need to take it for
I
that formation, but
Okay.
the Overmaster doesn't get any buffs from it.
Yeah.
No.
It
Now-
just has to be there.
Is Dravek Dalkin an Edge of the Abyss character?
I believe so. I think it
Yes.
was two.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure that was allowed, but then. All right.
It's here
We'll,
now.
we'll,
so
we'll have to make Kyle swap him out for the half-breed champion.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it
I'm
doesn't
okay
matter.
with taking Infernok and Dravik.
Yeah, he took both of them. That's the thing. So-
Well, I was gonna say it doesn't matter because Kyle is infamous. Rossi will back me up for starting every game by saying 10-10 draw, go to the bar. So I'm pretty sure that's his plan. I think that's also Noah's plan, who's also on that team. So they're gonna be making that offer, and Infernok might not even make it to the table.
I hear you.
If they fight me, they will have to understand I will take them up on that offer, and they will be an awful lot poorer
It's
for
totally
it.
worth it.
It's-
Like,
it's-
you got it. Let's go.
It's not said in jest. It's
No, it is.
it's
it
a
is
seriously.
legit.
I don't want to play this game, but I happen to be here. Let's call it a draw. Let's go drink.
That's awesome. That all being said, I do really like this list. I think he's got a lot of tools. He's got pretty much every tool in the box.
Right.
So I like to see that.
Yeah.
I like those well-rounded all-comers lists. I think they're strong.
I don't-
And I think they're
I don't think he actually wants to put loot on that Overmaster. He just didn't have available slot to put Banechant in this list.
Mhm.
That Overmaster really wants Wings of Honeymaze. It has wet dreams over that item.
I mean, he
Yep.
really desperately needs it, though. Honestly, the Bane chant. Anyway,
Yeah.
not so much like the wet dreams that you were talking about or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, like the Black Souls, I could see just not having Banner of the Griffin on them.
Mhm.
I don't feel
Yeah, I
like
agree with
that's
that.
quite as necessary on that unit.
Right. Then you got the Susu and the Overmaster flying around.
Yeah.
Cute.
I'm not a huge fan of Banner of the Griffin on the big hordes. I mean, I get the whole idea behind it, but I like them better on the characters personally.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to move them around to get the
Exactly.
leadership where you need it.
Yep.
I'm guessing he's assuming with it on the Black Souls, you get it on the Immortal Guard and the 2 regiments of Decimators.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
For show.
But really, like the unit I want to hit with it is Abyssal Half-Breeds. That's the unit that wants it, not the infantry.
I guess
I
it
don't know.
depends. It depends on what you're going to do with them. If they're out doing work by themselves, and it doesn't matter having the banner, right? They're not helping anybody else. If he's making a solid line down the center, having it there with the regiments of the shooters on either side, that's where you want it.
Yeah, I could just as easily see that item be elite, and now you just have a shock troop horde.
No. Yeah, true.
All right, Greg, you want to take the next list for Team Merc?
I'm actually going to pass the baton over to Rossi now that he's here to
hold
read
on.
that.
Hold on, man. The phone.
Might
I
not
gotta
be
find
there.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
reading it from the phone.
If you're watching
Oh,
this
boy.
at home live right now, this is your chance to get a bathroom break while Rossi
I
figures
swear
out.
to God.
Right.
Which guy is there? I just sat down. Which guy?
Team Merc.
Brian Rain.
Team Merc, Brian Ring.
Brian
But
Ring.
I'm passing it off because I have to get going.
Oh,
So
fair
thank
enough.
you for having me on. It was fun to talk about the list, and I will keep watching. So if you talk shit about me, it's fine, but I know that I will see it.
I'm here. I will. Like, there's
I'm
another
sitting
guy
right
that
here.
is going to get you mentioned.
Bye, Greg.
Definitely happening.
It's
And
not
number
a fair
5.
trade. It's not a fair trade. All right, Brian Ring. 2 regiments of Forest Shamblers, a Centaur Chief, a Horde of Lycans with the Brew of Strength, a Horde of Lycans with the Staying Stone, 2 Beast Packs troops, a Horde of Giant Eagles, a Horde of Stampede with a Blessing of the Gods, a Horde of Stampede with the Chant of Hate, Chimera with Wings, a Centaur Chief, and a Shaman with Heal 5 and Shroud of the Saint. That's pretty good.
Classic layout minus the Forest Shamblers. It's a good combo for herd.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
I like that actually. Like, I actually think it's one of the few units that adds value there because, like, kind of this really cheap wall that you get to throw at your enemy and then to deal with it. Like,
Yeah, I don't
I
think they're going
guess.
to Vanguard in this list. Like, I don't think that's really their point. They're just 125 points of decent.
Yeah, decent
Yeah.
shaft, right?
Defense 5-14.
Dash 14, dude. That's annoying as shit.
With an
That Centaur
Inspire
Chief
Centaur
is a
right there.
really good chaff unit. And
Oh,
it's
he's
a really good
amazing.
interceptor.
Amazing. 2 Lycans, 2 Stampedes. He's got the Chimera in there. He's only got 1 Shaman. I'd almost prefer, personally, this is me, I'd almost prefer probably 1 Forest Shambler and another Shaman. But
Trash.
that's me. I mean,
Or swap that Centaur Chief for another Shaman.
heal 10, you know what I mean? You gotta have it.
Yeah. It'll be heal 13 with the Shroud of the Saint.
Yeah, true. I haven't run my herd in so long, but this makes me want to. I'm curious to see how the Giant Eagle Horde does.
Not
It'll
well.
do good.
I can spoil it for you.
Whenever I've tried it, it's been the most disappointing unit.
Who said
I've
not
ever
well?
run.
Who's that?
Alex.
Not
Oh,
Yeah,
Alex has very strong opinions about.
seriously.
I hate that
units.
unit.
I hate
If
that.
you ever
unit.
want to charge an individual for 4 straight turns, take a Horde of Giant Eagles, because that's all they ever do.
I mean, like, my thing is like with the Forest Shamblers, right? So a regiment of Giant Eagles, I think, is what, like 140 points, something like that, if I remember correctly. And like, I don't know. I mean, you can find those points somewhere, and then you got 2 regiments of the Giant Eagles too, you know. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
mean,
I actually personally
30
hate Forest Shamblers, so that's me. But
I don't like-
Chimera. Like, I
I don't like those in regiments.
yeah, I mean, they're points efficient in hordes or whatever, but especially in nature, like I'd rather just take Earth Elementals or Fire
Right.
Elementals for
Yeah.
almost the same points for
You're
5
paying-
more points.
You're paying so
5
much
more
for
points.
the Vanguard for what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
All of that
5
is true.
points more for Earth Elementals. 5
Right.
points.
For
I don't know.
defense 6.
Or
Yeah.
Fire for crushing 2.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But I mean, Some people like them though. Like I know a lot of nature players that actually really enjoy them. I just can't. I can't see it.
I just don't like taking things to shamble without something that surges.
True.
You know what I mean? Something to help them out.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to be as much of an issue. I don't like having a defense 2 chaff wall in front of lichens. Like, I don't think the heights are going to line up that well. It's kind of the problem.
They can scream for the Stampedes, not the lichens.
Yeah, but the beast packs are helping out.
And then they just go in front of the Stampedes, so they still see them and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, okay. Here's the other thing too. We all think that we could make a better list, but Brian's really good with this list.
Oh, Brian's an amazing player.
What are we talking about, right? I mean, let's
I
be
think
honest
it's good.
Oh, what a bunch of garbage! I mean, I'm going to play him and be like, now what do I do?
And lose like I did. Yeah, right.
I'll tell him all the mistakes he made while I take some of my minis off. That'll be fun.
Exactly.
Right?
That's good.
That's what I do on Facebook. That's why I'm famous.
No, the beast packs hang out the lichens, man. It just dictate it. It is a good. It's a solid list for sure.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of hammers. I think it's a little vulnerable to shooting, but besides that, I think this list can just red face.
That's
There's
just
a couple health
and
matchups here that's probably going to give it some struggles if it gets in. If it gets to avoid those, it should be pretty solid.
Well, that's it, right? It's all in the matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next?
All right, so who's next?
I'm going with Noah Nathanson. So Noah's got 2 regiments of thralls, a horde of fallen with the brew of strength, a horde of fallen with the potion of the caterpillar. Oh, that's so sad. 2 mounted sons of Korgan, one with the brew of haste. He's got a chieftain with the gift of Korgan for brutal. He's got him mounted and the boots of the 7 leagues. Pretty good.
Coming at you.
2 king on chimera, one with brutal. Actually, both with brutal. One with staying stone and one with the dwarven ale. And he also has Magnield of the Fallen for 2250.
It says what, like a 7 unit strength or something?
2, 4,
Pretty light.
6, 8, 10, 12.
10.
14?
11.
I count
Yeah.
16. 16, no?
What?
Did I? Maybe I
3,
missed
4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
The fallen are only
14.
2. Kind of
14. Yeah, I count 14.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, it's important to rule. I think Noah's taking kind of what he has available because I don't think it's good.
Right.
Wow.
This is his old crossroad list, right?
Not the Suns. Yeah, I mean,
close.
Right.
still a good list. Super elite.
Two
which is
Chimera riding kings. That's pretty good.
I was just
This
saying.
list will kill at least 2 units a turn once it gets into combat.
Oh, God.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
the problem
Let's
is,
get one that.
it's kind of, can it keep that pace up against the other lists? That's
The real problem is, like, if he loses 2 units, if he has a bad turn where he loses 2 or 3 units all at once, now he's in trouble. He's in big trouble because, like,
if he rolls 1 Snake Eyes,
right. Yeah.
Maybe.
that's really the issue with that Vanner list.
I have a question for the group. Does Brutal stack?
No.
It does not.
Oh,
It
it's
only
just
stacks with Dread.
Wouldn't that be awesome, though? It would make it so much better.
It's a list where you can do that.
We're going to do that.
Ogre's really fucking powerful.
Yeah, hell yeah. But no, he's got the 2 chimeras, so he's getting good angles with those guys while he's coming at you. I mean, the caterpillar is just funny because they used to have Pathfinder. It's so sad.
It's not that sad.
Not
They were
sad.
so amazing.
Definitely not sad.
Stop.
I know. But yeah, no, it's smash, run up, smash your face in. It's really how that's going to go.
That seems pretty one-dimensional and
Really,
But it's
really
good,
like
yeah.
the Vanguard
Definitely
sheet.
good.
I'm a big fan of that.
That's a great, I'm going to drink a lot and play this game list. Cool.
Just that free 8 inches forward turn 1 can
Man.
make a lot of choices hard.
Absolutely. And then if he goes first, he's in your backfield just looking for war machines and shit and characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I really like that.
and during 1 turn of shooting, I mean, and then he's on you.
So what, right?
You better be ready.
You
Yeah.
might not even get 1. Like,
Right.
you could be charging a horde turn 1.
All good points.
All right, Mike, why don't you take the next one?
Me again?
Yep.
All right. So the next one is who? K-Wood?
Yep.
All right. I'm getting this figured out. All right. Triton Realms for K-Wood.
Nice.
A horde of Naiad Ensnares with the Banner of the Griffin. A horde of Ensnares with the Hammer of Measured Force. 2 troops of Thuls and a regiment of Thuls. A troop of Naiad Heart Piercers with the Fire Oil, free 5 points. He has a troop of Naiad Heart Piercers with the Staying Stone. He's got 2 troops of River Guard and a regiment of River Guard. He's got a horde of Gigas with the Healing Brew. He's got a Leviathan's Bane. He's got a Coral Giant. He's got a Mythican with Bane Chant 2. He's got a Siren. And he's got the Thul Tidal Surge formation.
What's that do, Mike?
I don't know what that does.
No, I think it gives the Thul stealthy, I believe.
No, it gives him speed.
Plus 1 movement.
Plus 1 speed.
Oh,
Plus
no,
one movement.
yeah, okay. I don't know anything. I just
looked it up. I didn't
No,
know
it's
this either. I'll be honest.
I'm probably the only one that's played against Trident Realms regularly.
we have a player here that plays all the time. But Thul are really good.
It's a lot of units, man.
Yeah.
Right? Hordes of this and troops of that, and regiments of this, and a lot of stuff to like kind of mow through on your way to the juicy stuff in the back.
I'll tell you right now, he does not want to see
Anything with more than 20 shots.
defense 6. Defense 6,
No.
even like a defense 6 wall is going to crush this list.
Yeah,
That
doors
would
are
be a
going to be an
problem.
issue because he has 1 unit to deal with it. Well,
He'll
2.
bounce
if
off
you count
stuff
the
all
Gigas.
day. Well,
I mean, it's good at grinding this list. I mean, maybe this list is just designed with the sheer fact, like maybe you don't kill it. Is that the idea? Like this one just comes out and is just standing there and
This list just wants to see dominate for 6 straight
Yeah.
or 5 straight games.
There you go.
And-
it just wants to draw, right? Like, I mean, it's a team tournament.
it could.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
the beauty of this. It's like
Yeah.
if you have a list as a glaring weakness, you can just avoid that, to some degree, and it can do really well, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I will
think
say, I've played Trident Realms a fair bit. The Thul are really good. They, even with Ensnare Stealthy, they die incredibly fast. Like, they die faster than you'd expect.
but they hit harder than you expect to. I don't
That
know.
only matters if you're
Plus.
faster than your opponent, though.
Yeah, true.
Like,
Yep.
the River Guard aren't going to live all that long. I am glad that he didn't take the Crushing 1 Defense 3 River Guard. I am a much bigger fan of Defense 4 River Guard.
I go the opposite way. I think you give him the great weapons for flanking, especially in this list. He's got so little.
That's his
so little
chaff.
crushing.
Like,
But-
that Defense 4 and Snare chaff.
Right, but if
Defense
it's
4
chaff, but if
Dude,
it's chaff, right, you give it more damaging, so people can't just ignore it, and you're
Defense 4
expecting
with
it
a
to
lone
die
nerve.
anyway.
Defense 4 with a lone nerve is who gives a shit.
And
Just might as well
Ensnare.
be right. You know what
Defense
I mean?
4 and Snare.
That's kind of where I'm at, Rossi. Same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
But you know what? I don't play the army. I don't know what I'm talking about. Right.
I played River Guard an awful lot. The Defense 4 version I like a lot more.
Cool.
I'm a big fan of that part of this list.
I like it. It's only Trident Realm list, I think, in the whole tournament, right? So
I think so.
yeah,
Cool.
so maybe like I do agree that's a list that like you don't really know what it does. I don't think like a lot of people don't have exposure to it, especially those units. So you can catch me off guard. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the Siren's going to catch some people out because it auto disorders when it casts a spell. Like, if it gets 1/4
Yeah,
off
that's
of
good.
disorders, that's
Yeah.
going to throw some people off guard.
Cool.
All right, let's go back to
John Holst has a posse.
John Holst has a posse.
All right, here we go. So Peyton,
There's a real Rordia list.
wait a minute.
I
I
like
thought he
yours
didn't
better,
play
Rossi.
tournaments above 2,000 points. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so he's got League of Rordia. He's got Halfling Braves, a regiment 20. So Warbo Kaba. He's got 2 troops of Halfling Scouts. He's got a crossbow block regiment, 2 regiments of Household Knights, 1 with Caterpillar, 1 with the Mace of Crushing, 1 troop of Halfling Ranger Cavalry, 1 horde of Honor Guard with the Brew of Haste, the Halfling Volley Gun. He's got a Halfling Iron Beast. He's got a Duke mounted with the Diadem of Dragonkind, another one mounted with the Kaba's Holy Hand Grenades, Duke on Ancient Winged Alirez with Blade of Slashing. He's got a Wizard with Bane Chant, Lightning Bolt, mounted with Inspiring Talisman. And he's got a Halfling Master Sergeant with a bow and Banner of the Griffin for 2250. Every time I look at this list, I'm like, what does this list do? But he's so good with it.
I know. On paper, it's so bad.
It's just like all over the place, but he just dismantles people with it.
Yeah, it doesn't really looks like it does anything, right? Like, I don't know. But
I like the addition of the halflings at 2250. That's cool.
Why take those items on the Dukes? That's 55 points. You could easily put sharpness on honor guard.
Nah, you don't need it.
No, it's because Payne's like, no, this is what I have painted. So this is my army. You know,
You know what though? I do the same thing. I do the same thing with my dwarf list. I don't like BSBs that don't do much. I like BSBs that always have something to do. So if you get in the backfield, I'm blowing fire at you, throwing grenades at you. What?
4 attacks sitting on 3s, crushing 1.
Yeah, that's not a BSB. It's kind of weird. They're kind of the mid-level hero fighter.
Yeah. Well, same difference though. If those first 2 turns when you're getting in a position, you get behind them, right? Sometimes you just want to burn things.
Diadem's so good. It's a very points efficient item. I think
Absolutely.
It's awesome on a lot of characters.
Yeah, I do agree that you could probably drop those Dukes down to BSBs, take those 100 points you save, and who knows with it, but take more halflings or something, right? But
I'd like to see honor guard with sharpness, like 24 attacks hitting on 2s. That unit,
silly though. Why?
Personally, I hate that. I really do. I think that's a massive waste of points.
Yeah, right? You don't need it.
Anything hitting on 2s is a huge waste of points, in my opinion.
You're already going to go in.
It's unnecessary.
Right, exactly.
You're going to do enough to pop a regiment with every time.
Okay, dude, they're 275 points already. You know what I mean? Like they'd be they're like 350
they're
points.
They're already your eliminate bounty token. Why not just make them extra?
I disagree.
Go extra.
Make it really dead.
Now they're amazingly good.
Now they're immune to double ones.
Dude,
all right,
let's
go back to Mike, and we'll get the last list from Team Merc.
Back to me again? All right, hold on.
Yeah.
That'd be Ryan Birch?
Ryan Birch, yes, sir.
Love Ryan. Glad he's there. All right. Forces of Nature, Salamanders. A horde of Salamanders with the scrying gem of Zelik. A horde of elementals, water elementals. A horde of water elementals. A horde of water elementals. Imagine.
This list is awesome.
He has a winged unicorn with Bane Chant, Lightning Bolt 5. He has another winged unicorn with Bane Chant, Lightning Bolt 5. He has the Green Lady. He has 3 Beasts of Nature with Lightning Bolt 6, Fly 10, and Vicious increased attacks to 7 because that's how they come out of the box.
Oh, man.
And that's what he's got. So he has 3 Beasts, 3 Hordes, 2 Unicorns, a Horde of Salamanders, and a Partridge in a Pear Tree, and that's what he's got.
That's a great list.
I guess.
Dude, those water elementals are going nowhere, ever.
Yep.
No.
Heal all day.
Oh, my God.
Seriously.
Heal and regen. They are not going anywhere. And they're speed 7. They're coming at you. So good.
It's a good list.
It's good.
Not gonna lie. It's rather good.
Yeah, this is
Joey, tell me all the 17 things that are wrong with this list.
It does have low unit strength is the only problem.
Not that low.
17.
I do think it's going to run into issues against something that's more alpha strikey, like the Seas Vanger. That's kind of a problem with this list.
Right.
Water elementals are great until they see a real alpha strike unit.
Well, it's only against 2 Vanger players the first round, so. But
Yeah.
I like the lightning bolts. I think you saw a lot of this for a while, and it's kind of come full circle where the lightning bolts are back into the meta now. So I think there's a lot of good targets for lightning bolts that are on height 4 units, and I think you'll find good targets for it, especially against Rahordia or maybe Missile Dwarves.
12, 18.
The thing is, I've run that lightning bolt.
28 lightning bolt.
That's 5 damage at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
6 damage. It's not much.
Yeah.
It seems like so much more. It should be so much more, but it's not.
No.
It's
I
great
ran
for
this
sniping characters and stuff.
early this year, and the lightning bolt really wasn't what did it. It was the other stuff.
It's
It's
the
the horde of salamanders. It's
Heal
the
is
horde of water
right.
animals.
Army.
It's the fact that if you go in and you don't pop it in that turn, you're there forever.
Yep.
You're there forever.
Yeah.
Nature grinds better than some of like pretty much any army in the game. That's like the whole game for nature. You let them come in and hopefully you win the long haul. You know, if that's why, you know, I was saying earlier, I hate nerve spikes because that's what kills nature. It's like when you need those double 11s to pop my salamanders, like, and people get that, that's a big problem. You know?
Water elementals where they only need 5 wounds to be possibly popped. That's an issue for them.
Yeah, I would like to see Ben Griffin there to boost those hordes. I think they need it. And also sucks there's no surge either. Like, that's takes a lot out of those.
Yeah,
the druid is one of the best
the Green Lady could have been a druid, right?
Yeah, druids are awesome. They're so cheap and they're just great for what they do.
He had room for 2 heroes too, so he could have taken just double druid.
Everyone gets really fired up about the triple beast, double unicorn, or triple. And it's a lot of points, but don't get me wrong, it's very good, but it's a lot of points.
I'd like to see RF heroism if you're not gonna take all the heat, like that way you can do the lightning bolt a little bit more because it gives you a little more time for that heal. Like I'd like to see RF heroism here.
I don't love that spell personally.
I think when you get to like -19 water elementals, like it gives you a little bit more space for that extra turn to do the lightning bolt damage, which I felt Forces of Nature really needed.
That's fair. Cool.
All right, matchup wise, anybody got any? No, I think the 2 Varangier lists are looking at all these are lists saying, let's do this. Let's do this.
I think just because of that, and I'm not being partial, but those lists are made to Jesus, they're gonna get wins. And it also what also depends too. I mean, if he gets to depending on which one of those lists gets to choose choose the scenario, right? I mean that's a win. What are you supposed to do against invade against either of those lists?
Yeah.
Right. Get close to me so I kill you, or I'll go over there and I'll kill you.
The Trident Realm list can probably match up to Corey. I don't know if it matches up to Noah as much with the double Chimera, but like that's really the one where I don't think Corey wants to see. Outside of that, though,
I think Brian Ring has a good shot at either of those Varangier lists. He outspeeds. You know what I mean?
Yep, and he hits pretty hard.
And he's got enough chaff.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think the issue Brian's going to have is if the Varangier list can throw something in front of the Stampede it doesn't care about for 1 turn. It's only going to need 1 turn of chaffing the Stampede.
And if I'm not mistaken, both those Varangier lists have like Tundra Wolves and stuff, so they can do
garbage.
that. Yeah.
Right. I think Bart's list is good too. I like the balance of it. I think it's a really balanced list, and I think this will be close, man. I guess like I also go 2-2. Like I see, you can see is going down to how big a margin it takes, and in that competition, I'd probably give it to the Varangier players because if they're going to win, they're probably going to win huge, right? Where they're just falling or Mounted Sons are just rolling down the flank and just getting flanks and it's getting ugly.
Throwing massacres out there, right?
Right. So if one of those Varangier players picks up, even only one of them picks up a big win, I think that the edge would go to them. So for that reason, I'll give it to Team John Holst as a posse there.
Agreed. I think they got this one.
Yeah,
pretty handily in the bag.
I'd go with John Holst. The only problem is if Kyle Holman does accept a draw for 10-10, it might put them a little bit lower than what they would have gotten.
True.
I do want to give a quick shout out to Bart. Skullface is very proud of you for taking orcs. So
Bart's a really cool dude.
This just in.
Bart rules.
Yeah, it caught me off guard with the orcs for sure. I didn't expect that from him, but
well, I mean, when you have goblins too, right? Taking orcs takes some.
He's got those beach elves. Like I kind of expected those.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
Cool.
So also I gotta ask, like, do you have any stakes on this betting for like who's winning or whatever? Like,
oh boy,
I came in late.
Which means
we'll combine with Greg.
If he's
properly.
That's right.
You got something, Corey? All right, we'll make it up on the spot.
We'll figure something out. All right. So next matchup, we've got Team Canada versus the Aristocrats.
Whoa! Watch your mouth.
I like the Aristocats. I love that much.
It's not
better. Bad. Oh, I disagree.
All right, Joey, why don't you do Team Canada, and Alex, we'll let you do your team.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Alex, do you want to start or do you want me to lead off?
Go ahead.
All right. Let's see. I got Alex. It's just KUS. I know his name has more, I think. There's the Alex Coos. Regardless, he is Ratkin. We got 3 regiments of tunnel slaves, 3 hordes of shock troops, 1 with Dwarven Hail for Headstrong, 1 with Staying Stones, so they're 21-22, 1 with Pathfinder with the Passionate Caterpillar. 2 troops of claw shots, 2 hordes of brutes, 1 regiment of Vermintide, 2 weapon teams, both with Piercing 1, so Breath 10, Piercing 1. We got a Death Engine with the Vile Sorcery, so it's got those fire bolts with Piercing 2. Got an Enforcer with the Blade of Slashing, 2 Warlocks, 1 with Main Chant and the Amulet of the Fireheart, the other one blank with Inspiring Talisman. And then we get a Swarm Crier with Loot of Insatiable Darkness.
Amazing what you can get in there without the demon spawn.
Right?
Oh my God.
Seriously.
Wow.
Right.
I'm still too chicken to
3
leave my home.
hordes, 5
Because he's
hordes.
nice looking too.
Yeah, that's tough.
Man, that's a good list, though. That's basically my list, only better.
I fully support no demon spawn.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, you're the expert here.
Come on, Ratkin. Alex, yours first.
Yeah, so on Aristocrats, we have Alex Chavez. That's me.
He's a scrub.
I'm playing Ratkin. So I have 2 regiments of slaves, 1 horde of slaves, have 3 hordes of shock troops. 1 has a brew of sharpness, 1 has caterpillar, the other one has brew of strength. I have a horde of blight, 2 regiments of vermintide, 3 weapon teams with the piercing, 2 warlocks, 1 with Bane Chant mounted Inspired Talisman, other one is Bane Chant mounted, Swarm Crier with loot, and then I took the demon spawn because I don't know what I'm doing and I need some crutches. So.
So he took all that
Such a crutch.
and fit a demon spawn.
3 shock troops everywhere. That's crazy. So
Yeah.
good.
So
They're awesome.
But
Why
yeah,
would-
but traffic jams, man. I don't know.
Best infantry unit in the game.
They are really good. They are.
It is
It's
pretty
crazy, dude. My shock troops did 16 damage to an axe horde the other day. 1 charge. I was like, what?
Like, one Bane Chant
Yeah, they're
and
fun,
it's
dude.
picking up
They're
units.
So good.
played this a few times. It's fun. I don't know. I'm excited to try.
Yeah.
He says
got
it's
the
fun.
trash
It means
ball.
it went 4-0.
Alex, yeah, I'm all right. Kind of.
Yeah. Yes, you've heard of me.
No, definitely not. This list is gonna.
Definitely
I'm only the U.S. master. It's no big deal.
No. This list is gonna lose a lot. I'm pretty sure. Okay, my team will carry me.
No, it's a good list. It's got all the right stuff.
So next from Team Canada is John McCready. John McCready?
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce his name. We're going to go with McCready. He's taken herd. He says it's his final herd. So I guess he's been swapping up a lot. We got a horde of spirit walkers with the blade of slashing. We got 2 hordes of guardian brutes, 1 with the warbow of Kaba. Got a horde of lichens with the brew of strength, 2 troops of beast pack, another horde of giant eagles. So the second one we've seen this event.
Nice.
2 hordes of stampede, 1 with sharpness, 1 with elite. So blessing of the gods. A great totem. What is that unit? 2 shamans, both with heal 5, 1 with shroud of the saints. So heal 13 total.
It's good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
good.
that. I like the spirit walkers.
It's got a solid center. He's got, the stampedes coming in. The only thing I don't like is the great totem, but just because in this list is, I've found when I try to run the great totem, it just gets in the way, man. Like it just gets in the way because you can't move it. So once you place it, it's like you got to work around it. But if he's better at that than anyone I've seen, then that's all the power to him,
I know
But,
Tim Smith has run it. I think it can work, but your deployment is entirely based around where that thing goes.
Yeah, for sure. Or
Right. You don't know what to do with that. Like, just pretend that you do, because you'll throw your opponent off enough to make it worth it.
right.
So, it's like
Yeah, well, you're
It's
either deploying around where it went or around where it didn't go. Like, it's one or the other. You got to pick it.
it is a great feint. Like, here, I'm going to put this over here, and you're going to think I'm over there, and then I'm actually coming over here. So it is cool. Yeah.
He could have it on a 50 by 50 as well because it's just max size 75 by 75. It doesn't have to go on one. So when it's on a 50 by 50, it's a little bit easier to work around.
Oh, yeah. No, he's got the Horde of Spearwalkers. Best. I love that unit. That unit's so good. So good.
Yeah, 40 attacks. Yeah, unit's nasty.
40 attacks with Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Thunder Charge 1. Oh boy. Look out.
Yeah, it's a sort of different herd list too. I like that. Like it's got brutes and 2 hordes of brutes you don't see very often, and like the Eagles, I guess they'll do that thing. But
it certainly does different stuff than a normal herd list.
Yeah, and I like that. I think if you like know what you're doing with this list, you can do it really, really well.
Yep. No, solid. Like it.
Okay. Probably back to me then, huh?
Yep.
All right, got Mike Adkins running Abyssals.
Surprise.
Yeah, big shocker here. If you ever see Mike Adkins' list, you'll be surprised right here as well. 2 troops of gargoyles, 1 horde of lower Abyssals with the crushing 1 defense 3, 1 regiment torture souls, 2 hordes of torture souls, 1 with the blessing of gods for elite, 1 with brew of haste for that speed 11 shenanigan. Got Abyssal horsemen with caterpillar for our awesome unit. Hellhounds. Got an army standard with the loot of Residual Darkness. 2 Afrits who are naked. Arc Fiend with lightning bolt wings and blade of slashing. And everyone's favorite, the Susu.
Because why wouldn't you take him? He's so good.
Ask Mike. He will tell you every single reason why you wouldn't take Basusu.
Really? I've never heard anyone complain about Basusu.
There was this one time when he didn't automatically take a model off when I charged it. And
there was this one time he didn't do 6 damage. Can you believe it?
It was crazy.
So,
there was this one time he didn't hold up an entire horde for the entire game. Oh, jeez. He's not
He
reliable.
didn't survive 1 game. He's trash.
Mike is
garbage.
Least lucky Basusu player ever. His Basusu average is about 2 hits, 1 wounded combat.
I played, dude. Okay.
Every combat. Like,
Notice all the silence. All the
played him
silence.
tons of times. I can attest to that. I'm sure Alex can as well. His Basusu is the worst.
I must have played 50 games against Basusu, and you know how many times I've killed him? 2 times. 2 times ever. Okay, so he's so good.
That's kind of how I play. Like you kind of ignore him, but
yeah, exactly. You just let him. You're like, he's going to do 5 damage to whatever he wants, anything he wants, and I'm just going to ignore it because I don't have the time to deal with that.
Y'all don't understand Mike Adkins' dice rolling. When as soon as the attacks cuts below 12, it can't hit anymore. Like it doesn't matter if it hits on 3s. He'll roll 7 dice, 5 2s. That's the way he rolls that Basusu attack.
It's good.
Outside of Basusu, this list is great.
Yes.
It is great. Basusu sucks, but the list is great.
Got sidetracked.
I mean, the 2 Afrits, oh my god, they're so good.
No, this is his competitive list for a year now. Like it's been going on more than a year and a half.
Right.
And
Yeah, I found that.
Rocking events with it for a year and a half. Like it's been good ever since.
Lots of speed. I love the 2 Afreet. I think that's so good.
Yeah, it's consistent list.
Fireball.
He knows it inside out, like Joey's, saying there. Like he knows every matchup that he, play what to charge, what not to charge. So, we'll see what he does with this in the team format.
And it looks awesome.
His only weakness with here is when he plays a large unit strength list, he struggles an awful lot with the unit strength hits that this list took from last year. But that's the only real list.
But if you kill all the other guys' models,
right?
Unit
strength doesn't matter if you have nothing left.
He lost to double Legion Ogres. So with that, like
I think that's good.
If you just throw 30 unit strength at him, it gives him a lot of problems because those tortured souls can be unreliable. Like they do hit on the force.
Hard to argue.
Cool.
That being said, I think it's a fantastic list, and I think that guy's going to do some work.
Oh yeah, he's a great player too.
It's
I've never played against him, but I've heard stories.
All right, back over to you, Joey.
All right, so that puts me with Mike McCready. Is this John McCready's brother or relative or whatever?
Better call it McCready.
McCready, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm from far south, down here in Virginia. We got some dwarves. He's got a horde of bulwarkers with brew of strength, so 30 attacks hitting the force crushing 1 can do some damage.
I like it.
2 troops of sharpshooters. I like those as well. We got a horde of earth elementals, just 1. 2 regiments of Rock Riders, one with Potion the Caterpillar. The other one has no item. We got an Army Standard Bearer with Healing Charm. So that's what, heal 3, heal 4?
Yeah, heal 3.
Yeah, Stone Priest with Martyr's Prayer 7, so we're looking at heal 10 total. We got Hernius the Hunter, so the Living Legend. 2 of Hernius's Rangers. We got a Steel Behemoth, Hernius's Hunting Party, so I'm guessing that's where the 2 Hernius Rangers are coming from.
Gives him lead.
And
Oh, they're so
2
good.
regiments of Mastiff Hunting Packs. And that's his 20.
Yeah. That's so crazy that they can just get like 3, right? You can just, right, Mike? You can take 3 Hernius's Rangers or something.
There's
Yeah,
two
you
cards.
You can take 2, but they
And then
have
you take-
elite, and then
And
with
then you can take
Hernius,
the legendary unit as well, because the
yeah,
formation gives you 2, and then you can take the 3rd as a legendary
you
unit.
could.
Can you do that? I'm
They
not sure if
do.
you
You
can.
can.
Mike,
You
they
can.
do.
You can, because the formation adds 2. It adds the bonus to 2, but you still have the 1 that you unlocked from taking Hernius.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Never seen him
Doesn't
do that.
matter anyway. You do 3's a waste of points.
Drew Gaddy takes 3, and I've lost to it both times I've played him.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I would rate that really high. 3 units of Hernius's Rangers. Heck yeah.
It is good. One of the guys we play with around here plays.
It is
Yeah.
when you back it up with 5 troops of sharpshooters. Like,
The sharpshooters are awesome. I mean, this is all
So
like
south.
it's because you really shoot the shit. You
South.
like, don't expect it. So I think I like this list a lot. I mean, the only thing I would say is like I think he's paying a pretty heavy Stone Priest tax for the just 1 Horde of Elementals. I think. Like I would have rather just.
Pray for the Martyr's Prayer, right?
Yeah, I mean it's nice, but like how many points you put on that, I think you could be better off just getting more stuff. Maybe that 3rd unit Rangers or whatever. But
Yeah, no Bane Chant in the list either.
yeah,
That's the only change I would make is I would drop the healing charm for Bane Chant. But
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
agree. I
But
agree.
that's it. I think this list is good. I think it's got a
I like
solid
the list.
line. It goes out and punches you in the mouth, and it shoots you and makes you come to it. It's good.
the only thing I don't like are the Mastiffs, but I don't like the Mastiffs at all.
Why?
Just for like 130 points, like you can get some other stuff for that.
Can you get anything in the dwarf list that moves that fast and does anything that's so?
For cheap unit strength 2 each,
Yeah.
yeah. No, they're actually only 1. I think this is the height 0. But
Oh,
that's
they
right.
are they height 0? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they nerfed it. They changed it like around or whatever.
I'm kind of with you, Joey, but I don't know what else you would have for chat. I've seen dwarf lists with all kinds of
I
chaff.
don't-
I'd probably just double down on resiliency if that were me.
Right.
I'd almost just take a 3rd troop of sharpshooters and just have 30 points of items. Like
I can argue
that's
with
my
that.
personal
Mhm.
preference, but
I think the Masters could help the Rangers quite a bit because Rangers are a little vulnerable to like a fast unit that kind of comes down quickly. So if you can throw the Masters up like first, kind of like as like a screen for them, it can help to kind of protect them a bit.
Same
Alex
from
is completely
disorders and
correct.
stuff. Yeah, they're good.
Yep.
I mean, they do a job.
All right, back over to you, Alex.
No, it's right.
yep, that puts me with Steve MacArthur.
No,
Dude,
it's
No,
me
hold
now.
on, let Alex
Yeah.
do his next list.
Oh, it is.
All right, so I got Mike Austin playing Twilight Kin. So not elves, but kind of elves. It's
Kind of elves.
2 hordes of crossbows. One's got the Heart-Seeking Chant. One's got the Wine of Elvenkind. It's got 2 regiments of Reaper Guard. Got 3 troops of Gargoyles. 1 horde of Darkside Chariots with the Caterpillar. 2 Dark Lords of Black Dragon. Just naked. And this is my favorite unit in the list here. 2 Dark Avengers who are mounted on a Pegasus, so they become speed 10, flying large cab. Oh, and the VSB with Beachin.
Those guys are awesome.
Wow.
So yeah, it's
Ugh.
It's a defense
nasty
5
list, man.
forces of nature Pegasus with vicious,
Yeah, there you go.
For 100 points.
or like for what?
Yeah.
25 more points. That's so good.
100 points total.
Yeah, those guys are super annoying. I'll tell you right now. Like
Yeah,
they get
that's
this
good.
list, and it's nasty. It's a nasty list. Like I don't know. I think Mike's coming into this tournament pretty sharp, so I don't want to be in the end of this list for sure.
And you won't have to be.
Yeah,
Exactly. Well played,
Right.
sir.
Yeah.
Well played.
exactly.
You know, I was
Matthew-
supposed to be on their team, Hashtag spite.
Sour grapes.
After we lose our first round matchup, we won't have to fight him either.
Right, Joe's made a team that's going to beat us, so it's all good.
Yeah,
I
man.
dig it. I dig the list. I do.
It's
really
a good list.
It's very good.
Jesus.
I like Mike's list a lot. I think
Yeah.
he is still probably going to miss his Dracons, but this is a really good substitute for it.
Right.
I think it's
Like-
good.
Elf Light.
Yeah.
But gargoyles, though, too. Helpful.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it's like Elsa with Chaff. It's just not, like, right, basically.
sweet.
Yeah.
I really like this list. I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with it, but that's neither here nor there. So,
I agree.
yeah, it's going to be cool.
Yeah. Oh.
The two
I wouldn't
dragons
be
and lightning too.
surprised to see Mike having a little bit of growing pains into this list over the first couple matchups. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go one-on-one with it.
I
Just
but Mike actually practices and plays,
Mike is a murderer.
right? I mean, it's not like
It's a crazy concept.
No, like, for those that
practices
don't know,
and
Mike
plays with
murderer.
elves. The problem is it's going to be game 4, day 2, and he's going to have barely stumbled into the event 2
No.
minutes before round starts.
That's not what happened at Unplugged. I played him round 4 at Unplugged. He wrecked me. Like, I haven't been
Wow.
tabled in a long time. I was tabled that game.
You weren't
Bad.
at Keystone, where both him and Alex showed up 2 minutes before event starts.
I was hoping to play Alex instead.
Right.
I think this is really good. I think he's still going to miss those Dracons an awful lot, but this is a really good substitute for it.
I think he's awesome. The only story that matters is he didn't play day 2 at Unplugged a couple years ago.
He'll
and he
never
still
live
came
that
in like
down.
6th. You know what I mean?
That is great.
So whatever. He knows what he's
That's
doing.
legendary. Like, I
Exactly.
did so well my day 1
I
that I don't even
spot
have
you
to
a
show
day.
up. I don't even have to show up.
Spot you a whole day. It's fine.
It's fucking amazing.
I'm going to guarantee you he picks up his ones to hit the first game.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like,
That
oh,
is true.
crap.
That is true.
Oh, man. Statistically the same damage output.
Right.
Vicious defeat.
I've asked
Awesome.
every Twilight King player. They have never said it's statistically the same.
But it is, though.
But it is.
Mike
Matt doesn't lie, dude.
Ask Mike
doesn't lie.
Rossi.
Yes. What are you talking about?
It's identical. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Back over to you, Joey.
All right. Let me get over. Let's see. Steve MacArthur with the Varangur. We have a troop of warband. I don't think I've ever seen that unit taken. We got a horde of Bloodsworn with the Fury. We got a regiment of Sons of Korgan with the Fury. These are not mounted. These are walking. 2 troops of Tundra Wolves. 2 regiments of mounted Sons of Korgan, both with Brutal. 1 with Pathfinder. 1 with Headstrong. We got a troop of Horse Raiders. A Devour with Breath 10 and Vicious. So it's Vicious is only on range attacks. So when it's hitting on melee, it's just crushing 2 Thunderous 1 or crushing 1 Thunderous 1.
Shucks.
We got
Only that, huh?
only. Come on, it's 190 points. We got a Cavern Dweller blank. We got a Magus with Fireball 12, Lightning Bolt 4. It's mounted with the Inspiring Talisman. A Chieftain with Brutal, mounted with the Mesa Crushing. And a Scald with the Banner of the Griffin. No mount on that.
I like it.
A lot of anger this tournament, I feel like.
Yeah. I do
Welcome
like the
to the
Cavern Dwellers.
Northeast.
Yeah,
He's
Cavern
got-
Dweller is awesome. I mean,
Best
they made
guy
it
in the
real-
game, right?
Yeah.
He's got a
Only
toolbox.
problem with Cavern Dweller is speed 6 is like it's pretty like rough, kind of notch down from the regular giants for speed 7.
Yeah. I really like the Cavern Dweller, though. I think it's
hitting on
probably
threes,
like my top 3
375.
giant in the game.
Yeah.
My main issue with it is there's not 3 of them. Personally, I think if you're going to take 1, take 3. But
You're not wrong.
Not everybody has 3 models. Ask Mike Rossi. He's like, I take one of everything because that's what I have.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
How many things can I make steam tanks work as?
Right.
Worst.
I have this steam tank on me. What can I use this as?
Good, whatever.
Yeah. I think this has a decent amount of chaff to make those Sons of Korgan work, but overall, he's going to really wish that was like a Horde of Fallen instead.
Yes, he is.
It's 10 points more.
Yep.
It's,
I don't get it, but
Yeah.
it's what he's painted probably.
Yeah.
it's
Right.
I would imagine he's got a
Honestly,
real
it's
wank
fine.
ass regiment of foot guys, and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Right. I'll agree with that.
That's fair.
Outside of that, I really do like the list. I like the Magus with the Fireball 12 and the Inspiring Talisman. I think that's really good as a turn 5/6 cleanup character.
It's really good. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and
What's cool is that he's
almost
got the
everything
lightning.
else seems fine. I'm not sold on a Trooper Warband. Like, I kind of think you could.
You know what that
Something that's
does?
in front of the Suns,
Gets
right?
in the way. It's
Yeah.
just Jeff. I mean, it's
Either
75
way-
points.
Right? It runs out in front, or it sits on an objective in the backfield and goes, "Come and get it."
Why not? Or yeah,
You know?
exactly. It's that extra unit you've always wanted.
Yes.
For that backfield objective that you want to
Right.
ignore.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, because
I'm
Baron
just
sure
worried
can't
on
afford to
a
ignore
10-12
those.
defense 4 unit. Like, it's not really great at the back objective, and he's already got a troop of Horse Raider and 2 troops of Tundra Wolves. Does he really need
That's
that
the
4th
problem.
unit?
Baron need all their units, right, to participate in the game. So
Yeah.
you gotta
Right.
have something that you just say, "Fuck it, leave it behind. I don't care."
Yep.
Right. Right. I mean, because he needs the wolves out front for the knights to get the charges they need. So yeah.
I guess. I think in the half a mind of where I'm considering placing it, playing against a shooting list with 50 shots and where that Warband troop isn't going to do a damn thing. But
Don't put
It-
them
it
in the
probably
forest,
could.
behind the forest.
That's right.
Exactly.
I've played against enough troops of ghouls where they sit them on that backfield objective, and I'm just like, I'm going to throw Lightning Bolt 5 at it for 2 straight turns, and now you're going to be sad. And that's just how that unit works.
Stop telling people how to beat them. Cut it out.
He's
That's
not
awesome.
wrong.
Pro tip for
I made my
doing
living
good.
not
off
wrong.
of this, Mike.
That's it.
All right, Alex, you got one more list in your team.
I do. Okay. Last list here is Sean McCormick playing elves. So we got kin and we got regular elves. So we got a little bit of the dark and the good guys. So he's got 1 horde of kindred archers, the Heartseeking Chant, 2 regiments of Palace Guard, and 1 horde of the Tall Spears of British Strength for a very specific reason. Go over in a second. The troop of Glade Stalkers, 1 horde of chariots with the Pushing Caterpillar, 2 Dragon Breath, 1 army standard with the Loot of Darkness, also the 3rd Dragon Breath, basically. Got a mage with Bane Chant and the Black Iron Crown for all that Bane Chant 3 elite nonsense. Got the Noble War Chariot with Inspiring Talisman, a Master Hunter, Green Lady, and then the Green Lady is Wild Guard, which is you got the Blessing of Gods as well. So they have elite. And then he's got the formation, the Honor Guard of the Green Lady, which gives the units mentioned earlier, the House Guard and the Tall Spears, all regen 5 up. So
Pretty redundant.
regen. Yep. Some heals and just, some
Really
shenanigans.
good.
A lot of regen.
Really damn good.
Is he using Mike's stuff or no?
Don't think so. Yeah.
Should be all his own stuff, right?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, it's all his.
Oh, cool.
Maybe a unit or there, but
The Dragon Breaths might be Mike's.
I've never met him, so
yeah, he's a newer player. He played in 1 tournament in Mid-Link earlier this year, Vanguard. He did pretty well with it, and the list some of it. So
6th or 7th finish out of 20.
yeah. So he did pretty good. I mean, it's his
Nice.
tournament debut. So
Yeah.
I
He
think he's
replaced
playing
me on
like what he
this.
knows versus like doing maybe like what is maybe quote unquote like more common or more popular. So
nice.
we'll see how it goes.
This guy's the whole reason that I made an out of region team, because originally I was on that spot on the Aristocrats team,
We heard.
and then they replaced me with their own club mate.
Yeah, how
So-
dare us?
Well, thank you.
Or, spots are closed.
How dare you?
It all worked out. I like it.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But I can't challenge him over it because I'm not going to challenge an out of region team. Like,
Oh, we'll find you, buddy. Don't worry, we'll get you. You play him, and then you guys can like duke it out or whatever.
I know. Like now he's got to be on a team with Shannon Shoemaker. Like, oh man.
Right.
Oh shucks, jeez. Mm.
And Robert Brandon. Oh no, what am I gonna do?
The tiny violins are coming out.
Yeah, right. Awesome.
I'm really just letting Unplugged know that it's all Sean McCormick's fault that this all happened.
Okay.
No, it's Jake's fault for taking the grudge. He should have just been like, "We're taking other offers."
Well, I mean, the War Kings, Mike. The War Kings did send their regards first, and then you know, we backed out.
Don't get me started. I didn't have anything to do with that. By the time I realized what was happening, it was done. That's all there is to it.
You know, we could have let them do their thing, and you know, it could have been Shambling Hordes versus the War Kings. I mean, it could have been. It all could have been.
No bounds.
It's all right.
My sadness.
Could have been.
Sadness. Hey, we get to play a really bunch of
Great.
Thanks.
Still to this day, known Mike Rossi 2 years, never played one game with him. It's awesome.
Oh, Rossi, I thought you like never lost to any of their players or something, right? You got this in the bag.
Done. I just want to make sure that everybody. I will say it again. I have not lost to any of them. I have not lost to anybody on that team.
It's true.
There it is. Truth.
All right, Mike.
I haven't
We
played
have
all of
one
them.
player with the flying hammer, and he is destined to play you and beat you with it.
I can't wait. I want that to happen so bad. I want. Look.
Like no, but that it needs to be the game decider. Like it's
Of course.
Yeah, he does
it's got
one
to cause
hit.
a nerve check.
One
All
move,
right.
causes
Honor
the rout,
guard.
wins dominate.
Here we
Honor
go.
guard. I need an 11. Only because I got the Kevin Hart's flying hammer. Boop. Oh, there it is.
Take that. And by the way, don't ever say that item's bad again.
I love it. I don't know what you guys are talking about. All right.
It's garbage.
Anyway.
Anyway,
So are we talking about who's winning? Because
right.
the Aristocats are winning.
that was a big time
How dare you?
big time
I'm making a statement.
tangent.
The Aristocats are winning. They're gonna win. They're gonna win. They're gonna win.
That's not
What can man
that's
do
not
against such
maybe
reckless
not-
hate?
That's
Bam.
not false.
No.
It really will.
Does anyone want to make a case
So
I can't
against the
disagree.
master?
I
Right.
guess like,
Against Gladys Knight and the Pips? Like, come on, what are we talking about?
The only time it doesn't work is if Mike Austin just doesn't show up on Sunday again. They play an empty game.
True.
We'll bring
Very
extra
true.
player just in case.
But that's how good
It has
they
to
like.
start-
They could win with just 3 players. It's just, it doesn't matter, you know.
John Holst has a posse, has to play him first, and it's 10-10 tie time. Next thing you know, what happened to Mike? Done.
That would be awesome. They just forfeit like so many points just because they took that
That's
10-10
it.
deal like twice in a row.
Kyle walks out and just slurs the word "You're welcome" and then passes out. It's gonna be good.
Awesome.
All right, let's.
I will say the one issue Aristocrats can have is unit strength matchups. Outside of Alex's game, the other 3 don't really want to see high unit strength.
That
I
is
know
true.
for a fact Mike Adkins really doesn't want to see high unit strength because he has like 15 total in that
That's
list.
tough. That's 2250.
Yeah, probably the list in
That's pretty
the
low.
whole game or the whole tournament.
He doesn't. Alex obviously has Rat Cannon. We're just going to assume it's like 28,000 unit strength until you kill all of them. But like
Unit strength only matters turns 6 and 7.
that's also true. Like it only matters on how much you have where, not how much you have total.
Turns out deployment it doesn't matter.
I think
Sean
like
Normally list doesn't have a lot of unit strength either.
Maybe taking hold
No.
is the only argument you could make there, I guess.
Sean's probably the weakest link of the Aristocrats. No offense, but
Wow, bitter.
He said it.
Seriously?
You know what that means, Sean? You gotta bust yourself out
if you
Friday
buy
night,
those
and you're just
and
like
the other guys like
You
2 and
guys
3,
need to
I'll
set
take
him up for the
that.
best matchups all event long, Alex. Just give him all the cake matchups. Let's
do it.
It's the only thing to
20s.
do.
You got 3 guys
sure.
that are all Masters players on that team. Like it's hard to vote against them. Like Aristocrats are going to win this. I really think Team Canada can probably win one
No,
of
the
them.
War Kings are gonna win this, okay? I mean, like, come on.
Win this round. In this first round. Start.
Have we gone through all the matchups before we start talking about who's winning?
Starting gentlemen are
Yeah, let's finish the matchups, right?
I mean, before we start like talking about who's gonna, stop it. All right, who's left?
All right, let's go to the next matchups. We got the Beef and Wing versus Kingsaholic Anonymous. So I'll take the Beef and Wing guy. How's that sound?
I think Josh gets Beefaholic or Kingsaholic analysis.
All right.
Beefaholic.
Yeah.
That's
What is it,
hot shit.
Kingsaholic? Yep, gotcha.
Ooh.
Kingsaholic Anonymous. Nice.
Yep. So I've got the beef and wing guys. And so we'll start with Craig Bigham's list. And he is playing Intergalactic Night Stalkers. And so these guys are coming down. They're a bunch of 40K players that want to try Kings of War.
Sick. Welcome aboard.
There you go.
I've seen this list before.
Love it.
So 3 regiments of Spectres, a legion of Bloodworms with Potion of the Caterpillar, 3 regiments of Nightmares, all with Mind Fog. Yep, told you. Somebody went all in on Mind Fog here.
It's good.
1 Mind Screech, 1 Banshee with Lightning Bolt 5, 2 Void Lurkers, 1 with Brew of Haste, and 1 with Dark Lord's Onyx Ring. That is it. Dig it. Dig it.
Good.
3 Mind Fog on 1. Like, over Wind Blast, what is it, 7, 8, 7?
Wind Blast 5.
Wind Blast 5.
Ugh.
Mind Fog is the most underrated spell in 2018, period. It's so good. Especially late game. Like, you're just popping stuff left and right. I mean, I didn't take it because I'm a coward.
You are popping stuff left and right if you roll 4-ups like you are Alex.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I can't roll a 4 to save my life. That's why I don't use it, but I can see where... Like,
it's a 10 plus. It's 10 points, right? It's 10 points for this. I mean,
I like it, man.
Why not? Why not?
Dude, you can pop gargoyles
Turn 1.
without even doing any damage to them.
No,
that's amazing. You know? That's crazy. For what? For 10 points.
Right.
4 plus.
Yeah. I think with the errata, they got a little bit... Mindfall got a little bit worse. Did it change to where you roll it at the end of shooting?
Yeah, so you just like ping a unit multiple times with it, right?
Right.
Right.
But that, you know,
So
we were playing
it only
that
happens
way
once
anyway
if you do that multiple times.
right? I mean, I don't know.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
So this guy's got all 40K minis for this?
I'm betting it's Tyranids, right?
It's awesome.
You would think so, right?
That's the usual Night Stalkers, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Let's see it.
All right, Josh, you got the Kingsaholics team.
All right. Goofing off over here. Here we go. Kalen McMillan, fellow rat player. So he's got 2 regiments of tunnel slaves. Guess what else, boys? He's got 3 hordes of shock troops.
Who saw that coming?
Bruce Strength, Caterpillar, and
Club.
Weird. Here we go. Okay.
Huh.
1 horde of brutes with Chant of Hate. 2 death engines with Vile Sorcery because they don't come in the combat variety.
No.
1 warlock with Bane Chant 3, heal 3, mount on a Fleabag and Shroud of the Saint for heal 6. He's got 1 warlock with Bane Chant 3, mount on a Fleabag, Veil of Shadows, and Inspiring Talisman. He's got 1 Swarm Crier on a Fleabag with Ludus of Insatiable Darkness and the Crutch, the Demon Spawn, with wings for 2250.
Is good.
Every list I look at from Skaven is really good.
They're really
Ratkin,
well.
sorry.
It's hard to make
They're good
Here's the
lists.
I know it's because of the 3 shock troops, but like,
Yes.
yeah, I know. But listen, like, I don't know. It's the way I play. I guess maybe it's just because I traffic jam myself. I don't know. It could be, but I
think it's
3
a you
hordes is
problem.
rough. It is a me problem. I think my list is okay, but
Yeah,
that's
Corey. He took like
I had 6
2 more
hordes.
hordes than normal.
Why did I have 6 hordes?
Yeah, exactly. Didn't have any problems apparently, so I don't know. I could have good, man. I don't know. I think
they are good
They're fun.
Kalen's a good player. Knows what he's doing. He's not gonna jam himself up.
for sure.
Right.
He was on the
And
team this
if
year.
you've played Ratkin a while, you've learned to work around the jamming yourself
Yeah.
up problem.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah, I got 100 games. It still happens sometimes. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad. It's okay. So no, it's a good list. He's got all the right stuff for sure. I just really don't want to paint another 80 shock troops. That's really what it comes down to. Stubbornly sticking to it.
I sympathize.
Stubbornly sticking to it.
All right, so let's go back to me. Next person on Team Beef and Wing is Neil Walker. He's playing Elves. So we've got a regiment of Palace Guard, a troop of Silver Breeze, 3 regiments of Stormwind Cavalry, 1 naked, 1 with a Brew of Haste, and 1 with Potion of the Caterpillar, 3 hordes of chariots, one with Nimble, one with a Heart-Seeking Chant, and one with Fire Oil. We've got an Elven Mage, again with Mind Fog, Alchemist's Curse, and the Amulet of the Fire Heart. We've got a Noble War Chariot, because they're good, and an Inspiring Talisman, and a troop of the Windborn Silver Breeze Cat, and then 2 troops of Battle Cats.
Does this list have no inspiring? This list has no inspiring.
One unit with inspiring, Talisman on the Noble, on the Chariot.
Mm-hmm. This list is so February.
It's been done. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, you shoot them off table. You don't worry about it, right?
That's right. Don't take their checks.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a good list. I mean, it shoots the shit out of you. I mean, I kind of agree with Rossi. I mean, the Chariot Horde you haven't seen in a while with like that many hordes or whatever. Doesn't mean they're bad.
How many upgrades? He's got 75 points in those chariots.
Yeah, that's fine though. I mean, Elvenkind's fine. I think the Vicious is fine.
And...
I love the 3 regiments of Stormwind. That's awesome.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah,
love that.
Yeah, it's a lot of speed because so like you try to push up on the chariots and those cavalry and smack in the face. Or
that's the thing. It's like you try to get up to it to disorder it, and they just like, oh well, that's cute. Watch this.
Yeah.
I don't have to shoot. I just like to shoot.
Exactly. Right.
Where's somebody sitting out there with a lot of phalanx in there? I mean, right?
Yeah. It's really good.
So much thunderous charge. All right, so that's a good list.
Right up.
It is a good list. I like it.
It goes against another list that shoots as much as it does.
So is this another 40K list, or is there only one 40K guy?
I think they're all 40K players.
But I mean, is this like going to be a 40? Am I going to look like if I look over there, is it going to be like Space Marines and?
I think that's awesome. Like, welcome aboard. I don't care.
This guy is actually borrowing my elves, so this.
Okay.
Oh,
nice.
Gotcha.
So his paint score is 30 out of 30, right? Like, or 20 out of 20, however far you're going.
Listen, I know where I stand. It's a 10.
All right. Ready for the next one?
Let's do it.
Cool. All right. So I got John. Okay.
Don't do it. Don't
Medaglia. Okay.
Medaglia.
He's got dwarves this time. Yep, he's got 2 hordes of earth elementals, one with the Brew of Courage, 1, 2, 3 regiments of Brox, one with Blessing of the Gods, one with Caterpillar, one with Strength, 2 Berserker Lords, like you do, mount on a Brock, with Blade of the Beast Slayer, and one with the Blade of Slashing. He's got the King with the Wings of the Honey Maze. Need that guy. Stone Priest with Bane Chant and Martyr's Prayer and Banner of the Griffin. He's got another Stone Priest with Bane Chant, Martyr's Prayer, and the Fireheart Amulet, and 2 Greater Earth Elementals. I love that list.
I like it.
That is fantastic.
So many points to the priests.
Yeah, but he's gonna be all snuggly back in there between the different regiments and the hordes of the Earth Elementals. You're not gonna be able to see them.
That's what I would be running if I were running dwarves, I think.
So the problem with this list I see is it just doesn't have enough unit strength, right?
No, it doesn't.
It's really light on unit strength. And if you come up against like a ratkin or goblins or orcs, you just don't have enough attacks.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's only got 14 at 2250. That's rough.
More importantly, don't worry about unit strength.
No, the Brox
don't even worry about unit strength. Right?
So
really what you're looking at, what you're looking at is 2 hordes with two Greater Earth Elementals standing next to him, and he's got like 3 regiments of the Brox are going to run out there and get killed.
They're going to take something with them, but they're going to die.
Right? But they're going to die because they die every game, no matter what you do. Right? And so after all said and done, you got jerks that move like 5 standing there going burp, burp, burp in the middle of the table, and that's it. Right?
Yeah.
Of course, I say that, and now he's going to win all of his games because I do that.
I'd love to see it because it's a different dwarf list. It does something different. So.
I mean, not that different.
How different is it?
What does Ross know about dwarves?
Greater Earth Elementals? I haven't seen any of those.
That's Alex. Alex brought Greater Earth Elementals to
I like them.
Yeah.
I think he took this Keystone, and he was playing up by the top tables with this.
Yeah, dude.
So I would not doubt him on this.
I'm not bailing on it, but I like it because it's different. It's double.
It's unit strength 14. but all the unit strength is on either Fearless 22
Again,
or Defense 6, like Dash 17.
Yeah.
You can't kill Brock Riders, you
or Field
suck.
14 behind it. Like,
again,
the
man,
is
unit strength
way
only
longer.
matters on turn 7. That's the only time it matters. So if
Those
you
Brock
have
Riders will
enough,
all
it
be
doesn't
dead.
matter.
They'll all be dead by that point.
Right. If he plays like Dominate, though, like, it's not
Right.
hard to see.
I mean, that's the thing I agree with.
Yeah,
Like, you have to be able to
yeah.
control the scenarios, right? Like, you have some control over that. So, it's like a weakness like that is not as exploitable as it would be otherwise. Where it's like, oh, okay, game 4, I'm just screwed because I don't have the strength for control
Alex
or
is
whatever.
completely correct.
Like, this list can work well all tournament long with the right matchups, and I like it a lot. I mean, my only concern is how it deals with like chaff for the most part. Because it doesn't have like the Rangers that I know he was running those at Keystone, so this is pretty different from what I've seen him run. So I'm curious to see how he'll do with it.
The King's gonna have to do some chaff work.
Right,
Yeah,
right. It's never a good thing.
The king has a tough time doing that, and also running interference on war machines, and also trying to remove the guys. Like, he's got too many things to do. You know
But
what I mean?
Berserker Lords, he's got 2 Berserker Lords mounted as well.
Yeah, but those play. I don't know. In my opinion, those play backfield defense.
Those guys are so good. So
Yep.
good.
I
That
agree.
17 nerve is always catches me off guard. I'm like, shoot him. I'm like, what's his nerve? 17. Oh,
My nerve is
okay.
this. Done.
Yeah, exactly. Wow,
120
17 nerve
points
on a
for
dude.
17
Nice.
nerve. Like, even unmounted that unit's good, but mounted that unit is crazy.
Yeah,
It's
he's
a fun list, man. He's got Surge 16 too, which can catch people off guard.
Yeah, it's really strong.
That's you can do some fun stuff with that. I know I had fun
especially
with
with the graders on the 50s and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Well, that's
exactly.
it.
So I
Turn
think
place
we
and
got a good matchup.
Cool.
He's a good player, too. Like, he'll be able
For sure.
to make this work.
I like it.
All
Nice.
right, back to me. We've got John Anderson's Night Stalker list.
Woo, more Night Stalker.
More Night Stalkers.
More Tyranids, you mean?
Probably. Actually, I think John
Distraction
actually has
time.
Night Stalkers. I think he does have Night Stalkers.
Oh,
So let's see. We got 2 regiments of Scarecrows, 2 hordes of Butchers, 2
Man
hordes.
after my heart.
That's right. 2 hordes of Fiends, 1 with a Brew of Haste, 2 Planner Apparitions, and then 2 Terrors. He is a man after your heart.
Right? Best units in the army.
For real, for real. And then you got a Horror with Banner of the Griffin and Void Lurker with Regen 4.
It's good.
Good stuff.
I like the. I'm a big fan. I have a buddy building a Night Stalker army over here. I'm a big fan of Double Planner Apparition. I love
Yeah.
that. I think it's good.
Joey taught me the ways.
Yeah.
The terrors and the
His
Planner
triple
Apparition.
Dread Fiend is cool too. I like that too.
Yeah.
it's a lot of grindability in this list,
Yeah.
right?
This list is one of those sneaky good ones where it doesn't look like it's going to hit that hard, and then it hits that hard.
What is a
Like-
terror? Like a Kraken, right? Similar to a Kraken?
It's like a Kraken, except it's
Shadow
searchable, which
Kraken.
makes it 10 times better than
Oh my
whatever
God.
Kraken you'd
Oh
ever
my
fought.
God, Joey like killed 3 of my units with that because I'm
It's an
stupid. and I couldn't
undead
figure it
Kraken.
out.
That's sick.
3 straight flank charges on surges with the terror is the most beautiful thing you'll ever see.
Oh, that's shambling. Oh,
He's pretty-
dude.
He's pretty good.
And
I
the
mean,
high
he
nerve,
is.
He's only defense 3, but the high
255
nerve and Regen 4. Oh,
It's a big price tag
Yeah.
yeah.
for what he does.
He's pricey for what he does. He's a big liability in the shooting matchup because it's really not all that hard
Defensively,
to
that
put
20
wounds on
nerfs
him.
goes away quick.
Yeah, and his regen at 4 up, like if you're healing the terror, then your heal 14 is not going on to something else that isn't regenning at the same time.
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
But if they're,
he
if
can't be a
they're shooting at that
liability.
guy, the fiends are in your face. I mean, that's the thing. It's like if they're shooting at the terrors, those fiends are up
Yeah,
your butt.
You got a lot of target
Quick.
priority issues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fiends are
Lurkers coming in. Yeah.
also like the world's worst 4 up unit ever. Like they can seriously. I've had them hit 8 times. I've had them hit 23 times.
That's
Like,
hitting on 4s, buddy. That's it.
Yeah,
dude.
like,
I feel like he's
that's a unit that's really hard to rely on. With
Yeah,
other
try
groups.
force of nature. Everything on 4s as far as the eye can see. Sometimes
Yeah,
I hit
just as
12
bad.
times. Sometimes I hit 3. Awesome. Cool.
Once again, sounds like a Joey problem. Just saying.
Wait till you see a Shadow Hulk that gets 2 hits on 9 attacks sitting on 3s.
Bing.
That I
Can't
have
wait.
seen.
why I took 2 this time. Because, if I double it.
It's 4.
All right, whose list? Whose list is next?
So wait, just quick thing. That is six shambling units. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
He's gonna also close the whole trap, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. The one thing with this is the horror is only Surge 6.
I didn't mean to backtrack it. Sorry.
I have
yeah,
missed Surge 6 surges so many times. It's really easy for one of these terrorists to miss one of their surges and just die because they.
Got to be within 1 inch.
Well, that was a flank that wasn't supposed to happen because it was supposed to have 30 attacks, but I guess it's just going to do 0 this turn and just look at you.
I love that. I got a 5-inch surge here, Surge 6. I can't believe I didn't make it.
The amount of 1-inch surges that thing will miss, it's sad.
I've been there. It's a very sad moment. All right. Cool.
Over to you.
On to the next one. Here we go. We are on, the anonymous. Okay. Mike Zettelmeyer, and he is bringing elves. So he's got a horde of kindred archers with the heart-seeking chant, 2 Stormwind cavalry regiments, 1 with caterpillar, 1 with strength, Dracon rider horde with chalice of wrath, sweet, war chariot horde, dragon breath ×1, elven mage with bane chant, fireball, mount on a horse, and inspiring talisman. He's got a noble war chariot, an elven king on a horse, dragon kindred lord with chant of hate, and the green lady. A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
A bit of everything. I hate even saying this because I hate this, but honestly, I'd like to see probably a little bit more shooting.
What?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, that's what
he's got. He's got archers and he's got a chariot. Stop it.
We don't want any of this negative energy that is flowing.
Whoa. Negative energy.
He's got decent amount of shooting. He's got the noble on the chariot, the dragon breath, the dragon rider with the breath. I mean, he's got enough. I mean, it's.
Where are the double archer hordes though? That's really what it's all about.
That's what you're complaining about.
Turn into a chariot horde.
Let's be real.
I want to throw you in the ocean. I can't believe you just said that.
Sorry.
You've been kicked out of the Northeast.
It is a good
region.
list.
Sorry.
No, he does.
Zelmar probably runs one of the best balanced elf lists ever,
and it looks awesome.
He's probably one of the best elf players I know. He's easily, with him and Mike Austin, are 2 of the best elf players I've ever played.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm not nothing against him. I'm just saying.
Nah.
I just think double archers is just so ridiculously good right now. It's just
hard to argue.
They're really good.
I like watching Mike play this list because he does it without all the tools, right?
Yeah, without the crutches, right? Yeah, that does make it better.
Only 1 breath engine instead of the 3. He only has 1 archer horde instead of the 2. He only has 1 Dracon horde instead of the 2.
Agreed. This is the classic, I don't need the gimmick, So, no, that's awesome. I do like that he's got a little bit of everything. There's a lot of tools in that box, for sure.
No, that Elven King is really easy to look over, but it is super clutch on this list.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It has blown me out an awful lot of times when I played him.
I like both the mounted fighting heroes, the noble and the king. Both do great things.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Very versatile the way he uses them too. It's smart.
Mm-hmm. I like the Dracons with the Chalice of Wrath too. That's helpful.
Yeah. Honestly, I prefer to see Headstrong on them, but I think Fury is just as good.
Yeah, it's a good item because a lot of times you waver Dracons and they're basically dead. So
whenever I look at
Dracons, take
Dracons,
them on Soul Reavers
it's an 8
too.
unit. If once you deal 8, it's a pretty dealable unit. When you put Fury Headstrong on it, though, it puts it up to 9 or 10 what you really need on it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So that throws it back to me. And I've got Bill Keefe's Abyssal list. So we've got 4 troops of gargoyles, 4 troops of gargoyles.
Whoo!
2 regiments of Abyssal Guard. Don't see those very much. 3 regiments of Abyssal Horsemen, 1 with Caterpillar, 1 with Blessing of the Gods, and 1 with the Fire Oil. Got the Lord of Lies, the Well of Souls, and an Archfiend with Wings, Drain Life, and Brew of Haste.
I want to start with congratulating this guy for taking Abyssal Horsemen and not taking Tortured Souls, because Abyssal Horsemen are like one of my favorite cav units in the game, and they just get overridden by Tortured Souls so much. So he took 3 prompts just on that alone.
Yeah, no, I agree. Horsemen are awesome. Really good unit. I think he's got him the right equipment too. I'd rather see Brew of Strength on one probably over the Blessing God's Fire combo he's got there.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
because they really, with the Fury and the CS, like they're awesome at countercharging.
Really, I think Blessing of the Gods is fine. I think that Fire Roll could be combined with Brew of Haste for Elite on that one. I don't really feel like you need a speed 11 dragon when you have 2 other ones, as well as 3 cav regiments and 2 troops of gargoyles. Like the Brew of Haste is kind of extra there. I think that could have been just been Pathfinder on the Firewall unit, but outside of that, I really like this.
Lord of Lice is interesting. I guess I've never seen it before. It's 1520. It's a weird nerve value, right?
Right, with that Fury, he's only got 5 attacks.
He's on a 40 mil too.
Yeah, he's large.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's only
I too.
Why?
because he's the Lord of Lies. He's
okay. The lie.
Right. He's a cool unit. Yeah. I don't see it often either, but Lightning 7, and some attacks and stuff. Can't complain.
Snare. Yeah.
Not gonna lie, when I first looked over this,
Expensive.
I thought he had like the 10 or 9 attacks of the Archfiend or Well of Souls, and that's what explained his 300 point cost. Now I'm looking at 5 attacks. It's kind of like,
You're paying a lot of points for that Lightning Bolt 7.
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of silly.
Stealthy and snare. Yeah, you're paying for a lot of special rules on him.
Yep.
Gives you a Swiss Army knife though, so you can do a little bit of everything.
So does he have Abyssal minis, or is he?
Let's
he
assume
taking
it's
Dark
40k
Angels?
demons.
40k demons. Yeah.
I assume this is Cinch, right? Like that would be the most.
Lord of
You would
Lies.
think so, right?
Sounds like it, right? Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Should be
Yeah.
good.
Should be definitely good. Well, Soul's also awesome, so
Oh yeah.
I'm a big fan of that.
That team's got to show up in straight like power armor. Everyone just armor. That'd be awesome.
Swords.
Dude, just like lean into it, That would be sick.
All right,
Cool.
Josh, back to you. Last list on yours.
Okay. Tom Zettelmeyer, I'm assuming they're brothers, maybe?
Yeah, brothers.
All right. So he's got Force of Nature. He's got a horde of Naiad and Snares with the Fire Oil. He's got Fire Elemental Regiment. He has 2 hordes of Earth Elementals. Sylph Talon Rider Horde with the Heart-Seeking Chant.
Really
How'd
good.
you do?
Yeah, so good. 2 Druids, both with Surge. One with Banner of the Griffin and one with Unspeakable Darkness, giving him extra Surge. He has
11 total.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. I think yeah. And we got a Winged Unicorn with Lightning Bolt 5, the Green Lady, Beast of Nature with Lightning Bolt 6, Flying Speed 10, and Vicious and 7 attacks, because that's how you do it. 2 Greater Elementals with Defense 6. Greater Earth Elementals. And that's going to do it for 2250. Oh, he also has Boulder Guard formation, which gives the Earth Elementals Iron Resolve.
Ooh, that's
Great.
good.
It is good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I really, really like this list. It's
Me too.
solid. It's not going anywhere. He's got the Talon Riders for the good shooting. He's got the double Druid. Druid are like the best
Great
little
surge
individuals.
shenanigans there.
Amazing. The only thing I would change if it were me, I would take out the Green Lady and put another Unicorn, because I am not a huge fan of the Green Lady in Forces of Nature. I think in Elves she's good, but in Forces of Nature the Winged Unicorn's just better.
I agree with you. It does
A
more.
little bit more versatility.
Right.
It's harder to kill, but at the same time, Winged Unicorn's 1 unit strength and can also get some flanks with Thunderous Charge 2 and stuff. So
Exactly. I agree.
Yep.
100%, Josh.
Yeah. I agree.
Also want to mention on the Boulder Guard, it gives one of those Greater Earth Elementals Iron Resolve as well. So it's
Ooh.
2 hordes and one
Yeah.
of the Greater Earths.
That's
Yep.
good.
Yeah.
sorry, yeah. So it's not both the Greater Earth Elementals, but it does give. Yeah, exactly.
Really good.
Still very
No, it is
resilient.
good. It is
very
good.
resilient, and it reaches
For
out
sure.
with the silk calendarizer and some lightning bolt. Yeah.
Well, you figure this, right? Figure this just for 1 second. Like, so 25 points is the Iron Resolve item, right? So 30
For
points.
30 points, you get it 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times on defense 6 units. It's really good. Super good.
I will bring up that the formation cost isn't always as good as the item cost because you're not always getting exactly what you want. Like, I don't take the brutal formation on Night Stalkers all that often. The Iron Resolve formation is probably a lot better in the Force of Nature, to be perfectly honest, given that you can
If you put Iron Resolve
heal
on
16, 19,
It's
whatever
true,
the
but
hell you got
to be
behind
honest
it.
with you, like a lot of people in Force of Nature, regardless of how you do it, right? Like the
You're gonna put
strategy is
heal
to
behind
have
it.
just that solid center. So,
Yeah.
if you can get Iron Resolve on Earth Elementals, then you do it with Earth Elementals. Or, Naiads or Salamanders, it doesn't matter. But if you have a bonus for Earth Elementals, then you just use those. Because in my opinion, all 3 of those units are on par as good as each other. Earth Elementals,
It
Naiads,
rated to
and
what you want to do with the Forces of Nature, right? You want to heal, you want to grind, so it plays right into that.
Yep.
It is pushing the hordes of Earth Elementals, which, like, when I was running Force of Nature, I was taking regiments with the R of Heroism, so, like, I was getting defense 6 or nerve 16, defense 6 regiments to combine with that heal over the Iron Resolve defense 17 hordes. So, like, it depends on where you're going, but I really do like this list a lot.
Slow and steady.
I do agree that Green Lady could probably be a Wayne Unicorn just because that Lightning Bolt 5 is a little bit more utility over the 1 extra heal plus elite.
It also
like,
puts your unicorns in hideously bad positions because you're like, I'm gonna jump out and throw a lightning bolt. Shit, I'm dead. Damn
What?
it.
No, it never happens. Never happens.
like the Green Lady has utility as a blocker, but I really do think that Wayne Unicorn can probably do a little bit more overall.
Oh, for sure, they're the best. I have 2 myself in most of my lists.
I agree, especially the unit strength. Like, it counts as unit strength too. That kind of, to me, tips it over the edge a little bit. But this is not in the first list, but like one of the fields I look at, and I'm like, this list to me has a very clear mission, which is playing, sort of tough scenarios really, really well. Because good luck trying to kill all that defense, resolve, heal. Like,
I mean, he's also got
dominate.
and I mean, those elementals are dash 18 backed with 7 plus the Green Ladies, 8 or 10 heal, something like that.
8 elite heals, so you're probably
8
elite, 5 turn.
They're not going anywhere. Iron Resolve, it's a solid list.
Exactly. Good luck
solid list, sir.
On push or dominate or something like that. It's gonna be very, very tough to lose this list. I mean, you don't have to convince me that Earth Elementals are good. I already believe that. So like this list is awesome. I think it's very smart.
The only thing this could struggle against is like a proper, like a really barren girl like Noah's list where it's got 2 of those cameras because they can each one shot.
Throw the ensnarers right in his face.
Yeah, even then, man, it doesn't matter. Like, you have to double charge to kill anything, and that trade just doesn't work. Like if you're playing smart and with good counterplay.
Ensnarers in the woods, man. Oh my God, they do not die. They live every game. So good.
I think like this list could lose pretty easily to Alpha Strike lists on the proper board, but it can also win pretty easily against them on the proper scenario. It's a toss up, but this could be one of those ones where Alpha Strike kind of looks at it and just goes, I can kill 2 Earth Elemental hordes in 1 turn, and by that point, once they're both dead, I'm good to go.
I don't think that's ever happened to me. But I mean, it's possible.
You obviously haven't played against me then.
Guess not. We've never played on.
All right, so matchup-wise, what do we think? I think Kingsaholics kind of have this one.
I think so too.
Yeah, that's a solid lineup between the Ratkin and the Force of Nature list I just read off. I mean, we got the nice balanced elf list in there. The dwarf list. That's just a solid lineup in general. I don't think they're afraid of many things.
I think the player experience is going to matter too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
They're all
in the big
solid
scheme
players.
of things, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I hate to give them sweep, but I kind of have to agree with everything said so far.
All right.
I have a really hard time voting for the Kingsaholic. Like Beef and Wing has 2 nice lists, so it's like my heart is right here.
Stop.
No, I really do like the Beef and Wings list total. I think the Kingsaholic guys are probably just given what I know of the players, the better players, but I do like Beefing Wings list that they've taken.
no,
I like
I
their
agree
Double
with
matchups.
Night
you.
Stalker list. That's a
I
shocker
think-
too.
I do like that triple mind fog thing, though.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I
cool.
told you he went all
That
in.
is cool.
I think as a team, that's a really strong team. It's just going to be a really big question on if they can match up to the player quality that Kingsaholic is bringing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean,
Kings
that's-
of War is a game that rewards good play by good players.
and when they
I
have a
think
nasty
that's-
list on top of that,
That's what I'm saying,
even
dude.
rough.
Listen, these guys, the Beef and Wing dudes, are going to have fun. They're going to learn a lot. They're going to come out of there probably going to get 1 or 2 wins, right? But if they're mostly 40K players, they don't have the same experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's me a
I'm
tough
picking
one.
Kingsaholic, but I do want to bring up the Beef and Wing have a very strong shot of stealing this event or stealing this team from them.
Okay.
All right, last matchup we got the Burger Kings versus the War Kings.
you totally read that. I know you did.
So, Mike, I'll let you do the Burger Kings list, and Josh, you can take your guys' list. Okay.
Surely. Yeah.
All right. I'll start with the Burger King. The Burger King.
Burn that shit down.
And, you know,
love
oh
it,
my
dude.
God, that picture
It's fantastic.
killing me.
I know. Just great. Yeah. Very
The memes
funny, guys.
begin.
Very cute.
All right. Keith Conroy. The Herd. Regiment of Spirit Walkers and a Horde of Spirit Walkers with Blessing of the Gods. A Troop of Harpies. A Horde of Lycans with Dwarven Ale. A Horde of Lycans with the Brew of Strength. 3 Troops of Beast Pack. A Chimera with wings and another Chimera with wings because they come together. Centaur Chief. Shaman, heal 5 on a mount with Murden's Amulet of the Fire Heart. And then he's got another one with heal 5 and Shroud of the Saint. And he's got a Lycan Alpha with Blade of Slashing.
I like it. The only thing I'm sad to not see Stampedes, but it is that's a good list. It's definitely good, and they're my old models, so I gave them to Keith.
There you go.
I sold them.
I like this more than Double Stampedes.
Why?
It's not because it's better, but it's because it plays a lot more into what I want to play. Like this is the type of herd list I would bring rather than like Double Stampede. Like me
good.
personally, as Joseph the Greek is saying, I would rather play this list. Stampedes are probably better.
Yeah, I mean, Lycans are fantastic. You just have to be very careful with them. I mean, they are way more fragile than they seem.
Absolutely.
So are
It doesn't
Chimeras.
matter if they're not alive.
Yeah.
But the entire list is hyper fragile.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like get in. Like in general, herd in general is just get in and get out. You have to get in and get out.
Mike, you've played my salamanders. You know that like that's the only type of list I like
That's
to
true.
play.
That is true. Not going to argue.
Yeah, I mean, I like the underdogs too, but I mean, it's subtle, but it's really hard. I mean, it's got all the hammers, got Bane Chan everywhere. I mean,
2 Chimeras is awesome too.
yeah, I love
it is.
Chimeras. I would take 2 Chimeras. Like,
Without
I'd take 3. I think.
I wonder why the Lycan Alpha instead of the 3rd Chimera, right?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Right.
I'm actually a big
this
fan of
point,
that
it's probably
Lycan
when he has a
Alpha.
mount.
It maintains nimble after combat, defense 5, region 5 on a 14/16 self-inspiring hero. Like, there's a whole lot to like about this guy. With Blade of Slashing, he's basically got elite for all intents and purposes.
Right.
Like, this is
He
a
is fantastic.
210-point hero that is going to do what
Yeah.
you want him to do when you want him to do it.
Watching
This
that
is
guy go like 30 inches into the backfield is hilarious. People always get like freaked out.
Yeah, like that turn 1 18 turn is beautiful. Like,
Yep.
I'll tell you what,
I
that
have
list,
3 of them.
it requires a lot of practice.
Oh yeah.
It requires a lot of practice. It is a subtle list to run. It is unforgiving. You make a mistake and you lose that unit. That's all there is to it.
You lose your Lycans, you're in big trouble in that list.
Yeah.
Big trouble.
Mhm.
Yep.
So
But it also has a little bit of some like slack to it with the heal 13.
yes.
You know, like you hit a headstrong roll in those Lycans with the heal 13 and the regen on top of it. Like
If you don't
it
pop
can kind
it,
of give you a little bit of a break, but at the same time, it's up to your opponent to give it to you.
Yep.
Yeah, I would like to see Banner Griffin on by one of the shamans. I think that they need that for the staying power, but you know,
I can agree with that.
I don't
I
know.
also love Mind Fog in the herd because they don't have a lot of shooting. And if you double one something, you can just be like, great, now it's dead. You know, even though whatever.
That's a good point.
That's the thing. They don't have anything to reach out and grab other units late game. They have a lot of wounds on them.
I mean, they got
That's why
Bray.
they just have
They got the
nine-
Bray Hunters,
9 or
but
10 units. Like, you don't need to reach out and touch them if you're just speed 10.
yes and no. I mean,
If they're behind you, it's tough.
right. Yeah, exactly. Cool. All right, ready to go for the War Kings?
Bring
Here we
it.
go. All right. So I'm going to read De Great Khan first. My buddy De Great Khan. So De Great Khan, he's running, spoiler alert, goblins. So we got 4 hordes of trolls, one with the banner of the griffins. He's got 1 regiment of sniffs with the fire oil. He's got 3 regiment of sniffs to follow that. He's got 3 war trombones, 3 big rock throwers, 2 bigots mounted, 1 with diadem of dragonkind, 1 with 1 naked, it looks like. Yep.
3 biggest, right?
Yeah, 3
Yeah,
bigots.
3 bigots. Sorry, yeah, 3 bigots. So 2 naked, 1 with diadem of dragonkind. He's got 1 whiz mounted on a flea bag with circlet of blood, and he's got Grogger's Great Lobber for 2250.
I love that blood boil he snuck in there. Like,
Yeah, that list
Yeah.
is so nasty. I think it's awesome.
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of 5-ups on rock throwers that
Yep.
Has he
Pretty
microwaved his dice yet? Like, just curious.
What's that?
Has he microwaved his dice yet?
It seems like it.
yeah.
Okay, and 6s to hit, and he just rolls this whole queue. That's 32 6s. Wait, what? Okay. So no, but yeah, Ron's a good player, and those sniffs do work, man. You can't catch him. You know, if he's playing smart and he's backing him up and he's shooting you and getting around the sides, and he's not, you know, he's doing it the right way. He's not putting them in there. The 4 trolls are, you know, in your face, and then he's just blasting you with shooting. You know, like it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Good
seems
in my-
nasty. I think we talked about earlier, I would have rested Ben Griffith on one of the bigots.
Yeah, I prefer that too. Some people like it on the horde.
Yeah.
So.
Right, which is just fine, I guess. But
Yep.
it's a nasty list, man. Absolutely, I do not want to be on the receiving end of that. It's just tough.
Yep. 4
Like
sniffs, 4 trolls.
It's beatable, but
And
it's
3 and 3 and 3.
entirely dependent on his ability to roll 5-ups.
That's the Mungdrel Empire right there.
That's
Right.
Yeah.
the mantra. 5s.
That's it.
Third of
We
the
call him
time.
Like,
No, we
I
call him
always
War Kings. We call him the
roll
King
as
of
many
5s
fours
around
as
here.
you
The king of 5s.
Yeah, because he's just amazing at rolling 5s. So, yep. But the Blood Boil too is just like insult to injury,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
also Blood Boil.
Oh, and also this.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
right.
like that means when you get hit, like your unit just dies, right? It just doesn't like get that second chance that you like sometimes get when you get hit. From.
Yeah.
You're already
I do
behind the
think
8
this-
ball on the unit strength too. So it's
This
like,
list can suffer an awful lot against other shooting lists when it goes second.
sure.
Like, God forbid it goes second against an elf list where it
Yeah,
will
but what
pick
do you
up
kill?
all
You
4
kill
shooting
1 or
troops.
2, and then he keeps going.
Yeah, you kill 2 units and who gives a shit. Yeah.
Right. Life's cheap.
And then he's got 18 more units to be like, screw it.
Yeah, right. I'm just gonna. Okay, cool.
I
So
don't-
watch all 5 of my catapults go on you now.
Right.
I don't know about 18. Like, I mean, I've played the Southeast Goblin build. Like, it really can suffer against somebody that can pick up a few things turn 1.
That
Mm.
unit. I mean, that
I see
list. That list in
I see
general
it.
is disgusting.
All right.
That's
Nick's
a different thing. Next.
moving on. Nick Sabetta, who I'm very happy is coming to the tournament to hang out with Nick a little bit. Varinger, 2 regiments of Warband, a regiment of Thralls, a horde of Bloodsworn with the Gift of Korgan, James Fury, and Healing Brew. 2 regiments of Mounted Sons, both with Fury, 1 with the Brew of Sharpness, and 1 with the Potion of the Caterpillar. Cavern Dweller, 2 Magus Conclaves, a Magus with Banechant 2 and the Inspiring Talisman, and a King on the Chimera with Fury and Blade of Slashing, a Scald mounted with the Banner of the Griffin, and Magnilda the Fallen.
Pretty good.
More very
Very
good.
good. Your list.
Really good.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, right? I mean, it's 2 units of Mounted Sons, there's the flying stuff in there. It's good.
I like it a lot. Yeah, it's got all the
I
good
just
stuff.
I don't think you need
Right.
the only thing I don't think you need is the Magus. But
No, I don't think so either.
Right.
Right.
Just get another skull, give him Banchant, right?
Yeah.
You save like 20, 30 points or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll
Sounds
lead on
legit.
some of those conclaves instead.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the Magus at Lightning Bolt 4, like it can prove pretty useful. Like is the worst thing you need to see is my own son like completely fluff a roll or snake eye something on turn 5.
Yeah.
Like, that Magus does have a role. Like it can do something.
Like a gargoyle for 1 damage. That's I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Kill it.
It's the same role the Magus is doing. Like
Yeah. The
the
Magus
worst thing you need is
backing
for
it
one
up.
of
It
your
can help
hammers
stack
to
stuff.
not get there.
It's cool. I like it. I like the 2 conclaves. That's really rad.
Yeah, that Magus could have been a third conclave.
They could have been. Could have been.
Now my only real I really wish somebody on Varangur would have taken the triple cavern dweller list. Like, I'm a huge fan of
Joe's all in on the
Triple
Giants.
Do
all
it,
in.
Joey. Do it. That's all you.
Yeah, I want to see hordes of thralls personally. Like that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see like 3 hordes of thralls. I want to see which one I'm going to play as a boss to put that on the table first.
Alex just like it's like that unit's bad, but this unit is better. This is good. All right, cool. So on to the next one. Here we go. Where's my team? Here we go.
Yeah, War King's got next.
War Kings. All right, I'll read everyone else and then I'll read mine last, I guess. So
That's the spirit.
so Orktown is bringing, so my buddy K2, he's bringing orcs. Surprise. So he's
I
got
hope so. Like you got a name to live up to.
he's got 2 hordes of axe, one with Aegis of the Elohi. He's got 1 troop of skulks, a horde of trolls, 3 gore chariots regiments, 1 crudger on a slasher with brew of haste, 1 crudger on a gore chariot with the mace of crushing. He's got 2 god speakers. One has Banechant, 2 heal 2, mounted on a gore with the inspiring talisman. The other one's got heal 2 mounted on a gore with mind fog and shroud of the saint. He's bringing a giant, a war drum. He's taking the Thunderer's formation, which I have to look up what that does. I think it gives him brutal. The chariot's brutal.
Right.
And he's also taking a crusher mounted on a gore with blade of slashing for 2250.
Yeah, formation's really good. I mean, all the chariots, including the Crudger on the chariot,
Thunderers
brutal.
is Crudger, Gore Chariot, Brutal.
Yeah, so that's 4 brutals you get for how many points is I think
30.
20, 30
Yeah.
So
20. Yeah.
so I mean that's an awesome bargain, and I mean he's got enough animals I think that it can work well. I mean it's axes, it's trolls, they're backed by heals, so yeah, I mean I think you got war drums there backing them too.
Mhm.
So I think it's a good list. I think it's balanced, and he clearly knows what he's doing with it. So I think he'll do well.
Yeah, that nimble Cudger on the Gore Chariot's pretty sneaky.
That guy is so good.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fight 3, people don't see the flank charge coming.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That guy's amazing.
Yeah.
For sure.
10
And,
attacks on that Crudger is pretty damn good. Like
which one? On the
Crudger on Slasher.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, that's Orkling. He's
Yeah.
lost in time.
Of course it's Orkling.
Yeah, that's Orkling. He's lost in time. Like Skullface isn't around now, so Orkling's trying to make his own way. You know, he's got the brew of haste. It's crazy. It's a whole long story that I won't bore you with the details. But
Oh,
Needs to be-
for us.
No. Nope. Orkling needs to be in power armor.
yeah, seriously.
He's lost in time. Make that happen.
I
He's
think
lost
my
in time.
my only complaint is really this Aegis of the Elohi on the Axe Horde. Like I would much rather see that be Elite or Vicious. He's either
yeah.
one in there for 25 points.
Or just Caterpillar, right? Like
Yeah, that's fair.
gotta put it for
I
20,
think I put that idea in his head because
Shouldn't have done that.
I know, but here's the thing. What my point was is that the axes are not there to kill stuff, right? The axes are there to take charges. So the more resilient you can make them, the better off you are. In my logic, but
It's
Okay.
heal 1 with a guaranteed 4+. Like I'm just not convinced that's worth 25. In general, whenever I look at infantry corps, like I'm like, how close can I get them to shock troops? Like That's my
Valid.
level on infantry force.
All right, that's
if
fair.
I can get him close
Valid.
to shock troops, I will.
All right.
Hard to argue.
Hitting on force 25 attacks, crushing 1. If you can get him vicious or elite, that's a pretty decent unit of pain that can also take a pretty good hit on the run.
Right.
All right, Mike, what's our next list?
I'm doing Ray Wyatt. Just so you guys know, my iPad is less than 10% battery. So if I just disappear, someone else is going to have to pick it up.
Front row.
Yeah,
There you go.
You got this.
All right, so he's taking Undead. He's got 2 hordes of Revenants. He's got 2 hordes of Wraiths. He's got a regiment of Mummies with the Blade of Slashing. He's got 3 regiments of Zombies. He's got a horde of Wights with the Brew of Sharpness. He's got a regiment of Soul Reaver Cavalry with the Chalice of Wrath. He's got a Cursed Pharaoh with the Wings, because that's how they come. He's got a Lich King with Bane 3 and Heal 6. He's got another Lich King with Heal 6 and Shroud of the Saint. And that's the list.
That's a good list.
That is high and tight. You know what I mean?
There is not one point that's not doing a job in that list.
No, there's no fat to trim. And if anybody's like, I really wish he would stop it. Just stop it. Right now.
There's nothing bad to say, right? Nothing bad to
No.
Well,
Wait,
actually,
I got a turn to go.
say. Of course.
Exactly.
I mean, he's got 15 heal. He's got the 2 Revenant hordes.
Oh,
I
shit.
mean,
Try and
back-
correct
you
me
know.
that. My God.
Backed by the Soul Reaver Cavalry, backed by the Wights. I mean, he's surging into stuff if you're not careful. He's got 3 zombie regiments to just literally crap on an objective anywhere he
Annoying.
wants. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
very
a lot
good.
of strength, man. He's got 21 strength list. Like it's a good player. It's a good list. I
Yeah.
think. I mean,
Very
yeah,
into
he got
that.
for the player more than list. I mean, Ray's is just knows.
Ray's
every
a
trick
quality
on it.
bro. I'm just happy. Once again, I'm happy he's showing up. Makes me
Oh hell
happy.
yeah!
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Ray bailed me out big time at Masters. He brought me to the airport when I was really in trouble. So
Nice.
yeah, no. So thanks, Ray, for that.
A good man,
Ray's a
dude.
ton
Yeah,
of fun to play
he drove
against.
me right there. It was cool, all the way
He's-
across Chicago.
Whenever I get to play him, he's usually my best sport. I think the only thing in this list I would like to see would be some werewolves, but like
I agree. Yeah,
I like this list.
And it
I
doesn't
like
want to be
this a lot.
fast. It wants to be slow and steady.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Fuck werewolves. Why?
Yeah.
It's something you can't search, right?
Yep.
true. Yeah,
that's right.
Well,
Well, he's
that's
got the raise
true. I think
help,
he will
you know?
probably really like to see some nibble movement.
Why? Just smack in the mouth, man. Just
I
fucking.
know.
Nothing's about being tricky, you know. Just fucking.
yeah.
Right.
You can
Right
make
down the
it
middle.
slug through it all.
Wraiths.
He's
subtle here.
He's played stuff like this before, and like his real problem comes in when the Lich Kings are asked to do a little bit more than they can do in one turn. That's really the only weakness this list has really had.
That's how you beat it, right? You got to make the
Yeah.
the liches
When
commit
I
to
played
something.
it, when I played at Mountaineer, within the first 2 turns, I took off both of the Surgers, and this list really struggled after that. So that's really why I would think it would benefit from having some werewolves. But I really see where he's going with this. I think this is a really strong list. The Revenants are really good. The Mummies are going to be great here. The Zombie Regiments are perfect for unit strength. The Soul Reavers are going to hopefully not die in one shot with Fury. I honestly feel like Soul Reavers, no matter what upgrade you put on them, are going to get exactly the opposite waiver you put on it. Like, he put Fury, it's going to get wavered in shooting. Like, that's just my personal take on it. But like, this list is pretty damn solid.
What? What's happening over there, Mike?
Sorry.
His iPad ran out of battery. He turned into a hairball.
Yeah.
Is that a new app or something? You get a Snapchat filter on or something? Anyways, yeah, I
I was
agree.
trying to
with
get him to show his asshole to all of you.
Oh.
Nice.
you. Good for you, buddy. I didn't show them else.
There it is.
Anyways, yeah, like I agree. Like the amulet on the Fireheart amulet on the list is really good. Like the cast twice one turn. Like when I played Undead, I think I found a lot of value in that. But I mean, it looks so tight with points. Like can't blame him for not having that.
Yeah.
Yeah, every point is spent methodically. Like
For
it's,
sure.
I think it's very tight.
I don't dislike this list. There's a few things that I probably would have had different just from my personal play style, but given what Ray runs, this is probably about as perfect as it gets for him.
That's glowing praise from Joey. I don't hate this list.
Seriously.
This list is not the worst. All right.
All right,
Cool.
Josh.
All right.
Bring me along. I
My
gotta
bro, Sir Spear. Sorry, go ahead. No, go. What were you saying, Joey?
I was saying it's like you bring me along to just not hate on everything. I just got to hate on most everything.
Just right. Exactly. He's the balance, right? Like,
I like it.
Yeah, he's Thanos, basically.
Okay, so this is my bro, Kevin Spear, and he's bringing his Brotherhood.
That's
so
right,
Sir
Alex.
Spear.
Look close.
Yeah, man. Sir Spear, he's got Water Elemental Horde. He's got two regiments of Order of the Brotherhood, one with the Healing Brew. He's got a regiment of Order of Redemption with the Caterpillar Potion. He's got 3 regiments of the Order of the Forsaken, one with Helm of Confidence for Inspiring, one with Staying Stone, and one with Brew of Haste. He's got a Forsaken Beast with Ensnare.
Yes.
He's got two exemplars on a mount, one with Maze of Crushing. He's got 2 Devoted, both with Martyr's Prayer, one with the Inspiring Talisman. He's got an exemplar Forsaker with the Blade of Slashing. And he's taking, drumroll please, Undaunted Crusaders, which gives them gives some of the knight units Pathfinder, right?
Because of course you do.
And Bane Chant, I think.
Can I say how much I like this list?
Oh my god, it's amazing.
really good.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
I like it a lot, yeah.
So good.
Yep. It's
Can
awesome.
I get a drum roll because this is gonna be a list that I'm not gonna critique? Like,
Wow. I get
Whoa.
some cymbal crash. Ka-ting.
Nice. Yeah, no, Kevin's got a great list here. And I think the with his little flyers running around, he's got the Forsaker, he's got all the tools he needs, he's got a solid center, he's got Pathfinder, he's got heals. Like, it's a great list.
Does it all. Everything but shooting.
yeah.
But who needs it, right?
I know. I dig it. I really do.
This is probably one of my favorite Brotherhood lists that I've seen in a long time. Really, there's not much that I can really say on it. Like, it's got the heal 14.
Joey's speechless.
Really, my only big thing is when I've played Brotherhood, the Exemplar Forsaker has always been the biggest disappointment on my list. Like, I've taken it to 2 GTs, and it has maybe been 1 game good. But outside of that, like, with the Blade of Slashing, I understand why it's there. Like, it is good. I love Regiments of Order Forsaken. That's probably my favorite way to take them. Just like splitting them up, making them play really MSU. If you want to double charge them, you can. You get a horde out of it.
Yeah.
Like, I love
And they
that
get
unit.
nerfed to kind of like survive on their own too, which is nice.
They do.
Right, like 12,
Yeah.
14 defense 5, like it's not super easy to kill.
No.
You got to kind of put in a little bit into it. That's
Listen,
one of my favorite units in here. Like, I'm a big fan of this list.
He's got 4 units with Pathfinder, the Knight
Yeah.
unit.
No.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
He goes where he wants and he does what he
Right.
wants.
yeah.
I like the regiments of Forsaken like that. I think it's a little strange to take that many items on them, but I assume there's a very specific purpose for that. So, like, I'm
Just
sure
to
there's,
mitigate the waiver, right?
right.
Yeah.
So-
He's our sole
I
good
agree.
aligned war king on our team.
Helm of Confidence is probably a little bit much on them. Like, that could just as easily be a staying, they have Staying Stone on one, but like that could be a Healing Brew or even
But
a Blade of Slashing on them.
When it saves them in the backfield, that's when it's amazing, right? I
Right.
mean,
Like,
I mean,
if
I
it
see what you're
does,
saying.
I'm permanently going to question anybody that spends 20 points on self-inspiring that doesn't cross to anything else. Like, that's a hard sell for me on a regiment that's really kind of playing that intermediary chaff hammer role.
See, that just tells me that unit's running a flank, right? It's
Exactly.
yeah, out there on
Right.
its own.
Yeah, like
Which is fine. I mean, I don't think they need the Helm Covenants. It's
it's
like half
kind of a
the,
hard
it's
sell.
half the
You
cost
just
of
run
armor standard.
two.
Just buy your
well,
armor
that
standard.
and right, the Forsaker's probably hanging out with them too, but yeah, still solid.
Yeah, no, good list. Love Martyr's Prayer. Just love everything about it. I would love the place list, to be honest. Like, if you want to trade places,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
I
game.
think if I was going to make tweaks,
No,
like I would remove the Helm of Confidence, I would remove the Healing Brew, and I would just add Banner of the Griffin to the Exemplar Brotherhood, and this would be perfect after that. Like, this is pretty damn close to what I would like to see in Brotherhood.
nice. Because I can't wait till I read you my list because it's just not.
You're not gonna love it.
Love it. Awesome.
All right, Mike. Tony Chastanay. Good to see him back too.
Oh, I'm so pleased. Has he grudged anybody yet?
Not yet. No, not yet.
Oh, he's got salamanders.
He just gets immediately on the War King's page. He's like, flame grilled mother.
I got a vote for Burger Kings just on the merit of them having salamanders.
Oh,
That dude is the best. All right, so he's got 2 hordes of Salamander Primes. One of them, he's exchanged the shields for 2-hand weapons. And he also gave that unit the Brew of Sharpness, so he's doubling down. He has a regiment of Gekata warriors. He has 2 troops of Gekata hunters. He has a horde of Ancient Sun Rhinosaurs with Max War's Potion. He's got 2 Lechelodons. He's got an Ankylodon battle platform with the swapping the blowpipes for Firebolt. He's got a Mage Priest with Heal 3 and Shroud of the Saint. He's got a Clan Lord on Fire Drake with Wings and Blade of Slashing. And he's got another one with Wings and the Brew of Haste. That's the list.
Looks fun.
It runs around. It causes problems.
It's balanced. He's got a lot
nice solid
lot
line,
of pieces.
and he's got some stuff that runs out and kind of puts a little pressure. Right?
Alex, do you want to harness your inner Mike Austin, or is that my job because I'm a Salamander player?
Go ahead, man. All you.
I feel hated doing this. Why did you take an Ankylodon battle platform? Like
He's got it.
Got the model.
Got the
He has it.
like it's probably one of the top 3 worst monsters in the game. Like it's bad.
It is very expensive for what you get.
Yeah, it's a 20 points over costed. I mean, what you gonna do, right?
Like 20 is being very generous for what it does.
Well, it's because you don't need Crusher
40
Strength 4.
I'll tell you right now, if I
probably
keep
about right.
Warhammer and I spent 20 hours painting an Ankylodon battle platform, it's going to be in my list. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Yeah, like
That's my opinion.
most of this list is honestly pretty fine. The Clanlars, Battle Drake, or on Fire Drakes are perfectly fine. Blade of Slashing is all right. Normally, when I was playing them, I never thought I'd see them in combat, except for on like turn 5 or 6 when it was game winning. For the most part, they were there for that Breath 16. So the Blade of Slashing and the Brew of Haste is all right on there. But the Ankylodon is really that's the worst part. That's just not good. You
Makes
can put 2
Big 3
Ankylodons in that spot.
makes victory that much sweeter, when you win.
Right. When you win, you're just like, yeah, but I took
Right.
an Ankylodon battle platform. And when you lose, you go, I took an Ankylodon battle platform. What do you want from me?
Yeah, what do you want from me? Jesus. Right? I fought you with 3 orange
That's
type
why
on
I'm
my
running the
back.
list I'm running. You'll see very shortly. Win or lose,
I'm
it
just
doesn't
gonna
matter. I have
repeat
an hour.
Mike Austin, and when he said at Siege of Augusta in January of 2018 that anybody who took an Ankylodon battle platform was retarded, I'll just repeat that here because it's still not that good. You could
It's
take
not that
2
bad though,
Commodons
either, right? I mean, it still
You could
does
take
a
another
thing.
Defense
another
It's very-
170 points in there.
It's very situational.
Yeah. I
I'll be
mean,
honest.
sure, but it still does a thing.
It's not even situational. Like the only time I've ever gotten one of those things to work
So
was
we
when
got
it was
we got to
1,500
stop
points.
because we still got like 20 minutes of Joey killing Josh's list here. So we got to.
Seriously.
Yeah, seriously.
We stopped caring. My battery's about to die. And I
Okay,
use
all
that
right.
as an excuse. I actually have 97%, but I don't want to hear Joe talk anymore. I'm done. I'm out.
So I'm going to read my list and I'm going to let you guys just murder me for the next hour, okay?
Joey, now it's up
So-
to you.
Here we go.
Day
right.
2 of this podcast.
Hold on. Here we go.
You guys know I wrote a blog about this,
One.
right?
Okay. So this is my list. I'm bringing Ratkin this time around. So I got 2 regiments of warriors, 1 horde of warriors. I have a horde of shock troops with the Brew of Sharpness. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 claw shots with 1 with the piercing arrow. I have 2 hordes of brutes, 1 with the Brew of Courage, 1 with the Staying Stone. Vermintide Regiment times 1. 3 weapon teams with piercing. I have an enforcer mounted on a flea bag with the Blade of Slashing. I have 2 swarm criers, 1 with the Loot of Insatiable Darkness, 1 with the Diadem of Dragonkind. And I have a demon spawn with wings and the Lab Rats formation for 2250.
Like the lab rats.
Go ahead.
Region to all the
That's for last, huh?
I like
Bruce,
the lab rats. I'm surprised you didn't have a wizard with heal and the Shroud of the Saint in here.
I hate the Ratkin Wizard. He is way too expensive for what he does.
That is the problem, right? You're paying for that lightning bolt up front.
If he had Inspire, it would be different.
That's like one of the best wizards in the game.
No, you're wrong.
You were just too damn used to playing Herd or Nature.
Nah, dude, you're wrong. Why take a wizard when I can take something with unit strength that does more damage for the same points? Why?
Because you're getting someone with Bane Chant 3?
No, because I have to pay more for Bane Chant. So it's like 120 points for a Bane Chanter when I could spend 90 points for a Bane Chanter. Why?
We're giving you 2 Bane Chants. What do you do?
Mike, are you taking us to the bathroom with you?
It's 1%.
We're getting the tours.
Oh, God.
It's War Kings are going to win. I like the other team. I just like those guys better. But War Kings are going to win.
Whoa.
That's all there is to it. It's there it is.
War Kings.
The other thing I've learned is that Joey should just hire himself out to be like, your list sucks, but let me fix it.
I love it.
It's like when Home Fixer Upper shows. He comes in and goes, it totally blows.
Tell me
what you need is more ceiling fans, and we're going to change the outside. Stop.
But could I make a podcast out of this? Like, could I do that?
Every day at work, dude, I go, tell me why I'm wrong.
I'm proofing a podcast about anything, and people will still listen to it. It's shit. Just so you know, right? Done.
Every day at work, I go, tell me why this is stupid. And then I say an idea and wait for people to shoot me down.
There it is.
Here it is.
Hey, don't message me, Josh. That's the real problem.
Right.
What's that? I played 30 games with this list, bro. This list is awesome. I love this list.
I'm happy to watch it in action. I can say that. I'm excited.
I'm going Bird Kings, by the way. I'm going Bird Kings this matchup for sure.
What?
Oh, yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, first of all, their name is better than yours. Second of all,
gotta say,
Burger Kings.
I don't know that anybody has a list that can deal with Ray's stuff.
Yeah, it's a 20-0 right there. And then, I don't know. I got faith. They'll win. I think they win 2 or 3 of those.
No way. War Kings clean sweep.
Clean sweep. I love it.
I'm going to actually go with Burger Kings here. I do think War Kings is going to have a pretty damn good advantage on whoever has to play that Goblin list. But I like the other 3 games regardless.
I'm going to vote War Kings just because I know Tony hasn't been playing at all, and Nick has been playing very little. So there's two people that haven't got a lot of games in lately. So that's my.
Now that you've said the Salamander player has not been, like practicing, this changes my viewpoint.
So listen, so that's a good undead list, but I don't think I'm too afraid of it, honestly, with my list. I don't think so.
I don't know. I would struggle.
I honestly don't think so.
Nah, Ray is generally good enough to make that work, no matter who he's playing against. I think that he's probably going to make this work really.
I'm taking the player right out of it. I'm just saying list to list. I think I have tools to deal with some of that stuff.
I don't think you can take player right out of it when we're considering team versus team. Like Ray has to play that undead matchup.
I think Ray wins his game. I think
if we were taking player out of it, like my team's
Tony
probably the
will
one.
probably struggle with theirs, and it really comes down to whoever's playing Keith. That's the swing.
Yeah, it's gonna be close.
We're gonna take it down, no problem. Bird Kings they don't stand a chance.
Got to come in strong.
We're just gonna brush them off to the side, like they're not even there. It's fine.
Yeah, I want to hear a couple of working calls in the game for sure. Working. Yeah, exactly. You get to hear enough of those let's unplug.
No, looking forward to it though. It's we're pretty psyched to see that we drew Keith and all those guys. So
yeah, that'll be a fun game. I'd probably go with that the most fun set of games right there. First round.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, guys, I'm excited. I think lots of people are excited. I appreciate you joining us for the broadcast tonight.
Do we want to do any other calls like countercharger, best team, best?
You want to call best team?
Well, we got to call best painted, best all that. That's the whole point of this, because there's got to be stakes.
All right, go ahead. Keith's gonna take overall. And overall, it's just battle. That's all it is.
Overall, it's just battle,
Yeah.
not paint, not sports.
No.
Ooh, that's tough. If it's got to be me, then I'm probably going to pick aristocrats out of all of them for
Right.
battle.
Right, represent. I'll go with. I guess I'll pick Joey, huh? League of Sword and Gentlemen. There you go.
That's how it works. You know, we trade.
I'm gonna go with sorry, go ahead.
You're good. Good. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say probably the Aristocrats or League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I can't really decide between the two, but I would love to see the two teams play each other. That's for sure. So
We're both like I'd assume that Alex has already had communications with his team about how they're going to handle mine. Like,
all right, so
I've
Alex
already
is gonna win.
I've already like had a discussion with my team on who we want to see who, but
Yeah.
no telling when we're going to match up or how we're going to match up.
Right.
Right. I got a dark horse. I think that the Kingsaholics guys could do really well here.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
got really
I
solid
believe it,
list.
for
They're all
sure.
good players. I think they have a shot.
Cool.
My like 3 is Zettelmeyer's team. They're the one that I'm probably the second most scared of. Like the Kingsaholic team is one that's really going to be able to cause trouble. Zettelmeyer is a really good player. I know his brother's pretty damn good, and Kalen's also a really strong Raccoon player. That's a team that's going to be able to come up and do really well for what they do.
Yep, I think so too. Now, what I'm interested to see is we've got the award for Best Team Spirit. So who does the craziest shit to get their team involved, right? That's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I think it's a very cool award, and yeah, trust me, we're coming for it too.
We're trying a little something too, so
Awesome. That'll be good.
here we go.
Alex, you guys gave away the Golden Boy to me. Like, I got the Dean, I got the GOAT, we got the Road Warrior. It's going to be hard to match up to what we're going to be dressing up on Saturday.
All right, we got a secret weapon too. Don't worry about it.
Like, y'all guys gave me that golden sweater. It's going to be an outfit. I don't think anybody in the Northeast or who's going to this event has seen me outside of the guys on my team wearing that outfit at ATC. It is something special.
I
I
look
agree.
forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
All right, guys. I think that's all we got, right?
Yeah.
So, man.
Do we want to call like a best painted?
It'll be hard because a lot of people are bringing different armies, right? So it's hard to
Yeah.
say.
Because
Yeah.
my money's on Aristocrats for best painted. I think our team's going to probably be close to second or third, but it's a pretty tough call.
A lot of people are bringing different stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of new stuff. I'm excited to see what it's out there, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I think will be good, right? Because people aren't bringing their typical lists. So I think there'll be a lot of different things.
Yeah. Peyton bringing his Rhodians is always a really good call, but there's going to be a lot of new stuff.
He keeps trying to foil himself, though.
Yeah, I've got an unpainted model.
Yeah, right.
Still a perfect score.
He's like, I've had the same army for 8 years, so I'm going to put this one unpainted guy right here. And please don't give me an award. Damn it, he gave me an award anyway.
Still a 20. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Deserves every point of it, though.
That's right.
Awesome.
That's
for
right.
sure.
All right, guys. We'll call it a wrap.
Cool.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
I hope
everybody.
Corey's been keeping watch because, I'm the best. I'm going to call Countercharger. It is totally going to be War Kings. It's going to be Countercharger.
We're the countercharging team, man. Yeah, it's good.
Exactly. I've called Countercharger every time I've been on a matchup cast. So you're
Call it a
welcome.
shot.